There's room.
Well, okay, baie dankie
Room
Tony.
for you. I can say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining us today on this conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is titled Meltmore Talks with People He Loves.
Oh,
It's nice to...
do the people love you back?
I convince myself. I keep convincing myself, little by little, chip by chip.
Like the answer always is, it depends.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. And if Johan didn't come through to see me, I would be like, maybe they don't. But here he is, so I'll take that as proof enough
Yeah.
of love. Thank you for joining us, Johan. You want to tell us about what you're doing? We were talking a little bit earlier about it, but tell us about your journey with your PhD.
Oh,
Like, I would like for... Would you be willing to
Johan.
talk about it? Like,
no,
share?
I'd absolutely share it. Basically, I spent I'll tell you a little bit of the journey that kind of went on last year, and then why I decided to go to with what I did. For a while, I wanted to extend my master's. My master's was basically, ooh, that
Close-
was good.
Close, but no cigar.
Yeah, my master's was basically designing neural networks using algorithms. So can you use an algorithm to build a neural network? And it works really well. I got my journal publication, my paper got published. You can search it up. I have a paper under my name in an official journal,
Dude.
which is kind of crazy. And it works really well. And I wanted to extend that work, and I'm still extending that work now, just with something else. Because the problem that I ran into is I wanted to make a thing that could kind of predict the performance of neural networks. But you sit with a really big issue of just needing computation. Like when you're sitting with like data sets of 60,000 images at 1080p, it's like 75 gigabytes of data that you're trying to feed through neural networks. And
Yeah,
so if you're
holding
trying
all of
to
that
if you're
same
trying to
time.
predict neural networks, you have to get baseline information. So you have to run those neural networks on those data sets and get like every epoch's information and then learn off of that. And that was I worked it out to be 900 hours for one data set.
Yo.
So 900 hours of computation on 4 GPUs at a time.
And that's assuming that your PC
Da-
runs and no errors,
nothing happens.
no power
No.
cuts.
So I decided to scrap the idea after a year of trying because it works when you don't have to do it on real world problems, because real world problems you need those hardcore training systems. So now I'm just doing XAI, which is like the explainable side of AI, where you're basically trying to figure out why does an AI make the decisions it makes? Like, why does it come to the conclusion of doing A? And what parts of it designed and led to it choosing A? And I think it's a really fascinating field, because now I want to implement that into the system that I was doing, where like, can you explain why the neural network that it's building is being done in this way? So now you're not explaining what the neural network does alone, but you're using that explanation on what it's doing to iteratively tune the neural network to be better and better and better and better. So instead of it just sitting there and you build a neural network and you get something back, you get that back, you make changes based on what you got back. So like, let's say you're trying to understand if it's a dog, but you get back that it keeps picking the wrong space in an image. Well, what you could do is then maybe add another max pooling layer so that you're lowering the dimensions so you have less things to pick from. Stuff like that. And I want to see if you could do it.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued to see if you can do it.
Like this whole conversation leads me to thinking about like lightweight models as well for some reason.
Dude,
Of
there's
like being able to run stuff on
I
local
saw
hardware.
actually like one of the biggest things. I saw a TED talk the other day about the worry of AGIs, specifically with the fact that because we're not really getting to them in any meaningful capacity, there should be a break from trying to make them and refocusing on doing smaller scale, very focused AIs. Things that can run on smartphones and are designed to do very specific things instead of these massive, all-encompassing models.
exactly.
Which, because the thing is, at the end of the day, if you could have something that could because even at the moment, if you look at like Copilot, if I'm guessing at this, but I think it is, Copilot will connect itself to DALI to generate images.
Yeah.
So you could do that on small scales. You could have something that interprets the thing, sends it off to another thing to do natural language processing, sends it off to another thing to do response generation,
Like the agent
and
kind
sends
of
it. Yeah.
perspective.
So instead of you having this 100 million parameter thing to do every 100 trillion parameter thing, you have 10 million or 20 million things like parameters that are done 6 times, spread over a place, and it'll run 1/10 of the energy consumption
And then each of those models can grow more sophisticated in their own
in
ways.
their own specific way. You could have one, let's say you're talking about law. You have one model that figures out which one of these agents talks about law, sends it to the law one. The law one, which is way better than the AGI would be at law because it only does law, generates law responses for you, sends it back to your middle ground, and gives that response back to you.
Like what I'm almost like learning from you in this moment is that AGI will be faked way before it's achieved.
Before it's really,
Interesting.
it'll be way more faked because it's easier. Why do you think we don't sit in like in engineering they always say build the simplest thing you can to achieve the best result. Don't sit there and build something as complicated as you can so that you can get somewhere. Just build something really simple
Yeah.
and fake it until you make it. And even in today's age, like there's in like Netflix, for example, they have they call them micro something, but it's basically Netflix is an amalgamation of very small programs that all feed each other information and then gives you a result back. It's not one big system because if the one big system crashes, you have nothing.
Exactly.
So you need each of the small ones with some redundancy so that like you have your web page which will then host all your things. When you click the thing, it'll ask this thing to go find that in the thing, pull it back to that, and you get it back. And so it's these small little programs that does all the hard and heavy lifting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm thinking about some of the other stuff you've mentioned as well, Johan, about trying to really get these models to almost like explain in understandable terms what it is they're identifying, right? Especially you mentioned like in the medical field, if it identifies like a cancerous, what it sees as a cancerous growth, being able to explain and then almost like in that way generating usable data for the models, like for the medical model in that way. And
Just-
then Joe mentioned something about like the holistic kind of perspective of your lung might have the cancer, but your lung is also a part of a larger person. And that person has an environment and eats certain foods and smokes or not, and all of that stuff. And I'm curious how long it's gonna take us to have AI that's like so much in our lives that they actually have access to the person before they ever get to the point of like diagnosing what's wrong with them. And if that's going to make it harder to actually get to a proper diagnosis or easier.
I don't like. Sorry, you can go for it.
Oh, yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that.
No, go for it,
I'm
Chloe.
gonna refine it.
Okay. No, I just like I think it's an interesting idea there, like, and I think that realistically it's already happening to a pretty large degree. I think you just the thing is already these days what's happening is when you are asking, let's to give you an example, when you ask something to identify, let's say in an image. So I won't talk about what it because it's not my work, but somebody in our group is doing something called, and it's a really big focus at the moment, called multimodal learning. So where AIs don't just learn from pictures or text, but they use both to learn systems. So like features such as like, do you smoke? Do you run? Are you active? And all of those things will be taken in as text-based, and then the image of the lung, and then those will be combined together to determine if you have cancer or not. And I think
Interesting.
that's something that's really important being moved forward towards, because like you said, it's not just, you don't just do images, you don't just do text. They need to be combined in some way, in the same way that we were talking about with the guy that said any response should be reasonable within the way a human would look at the problem. No human would look at only a picture of the lungs. Hilariously,
Right.
actually, that is how they do it today. Is when there are people that just sit and their only thing is to get an X-ray and to determine whether that X-ray has cancer or not.
Really?
That's somebody's job. They're radiologists. They don't see the patient. They don't get any interaction with them. They don't talk to them. They don't know much about them. They'll get some talk, like maybe some data on their age. Are they active or stuff? Not, and the X-ray of the lung or the MRI of the lung, and like that, the problem that I remember learning, or that an actual radiologist was talking about, was the lack of learning within that field, because you never get feedback then on whether this person actually did have cancer or not.
Mm.
You diagnose it as cancer and send it back to the doctor, and the doctor keeps handling it. You never learn whether your diagnosis was correct or not. So you have these people that are supposed to be experts in fields that cannot actually become experts in field because
they
they
don't
can't
know.
learn back from their decisions that
That's
they make.
I'm kind
a
of thinking
design
about
flaw.
that now, though. If you have like you say that the certain AI will reach out to other AIs, like what if this AI is not knowing on that same end, right? That
And then it hallucinates or
it's
it tells you what it thinks you might want to
it
hear.
starts pulling from one that's like not necessary. It doesn't have that feedback to improve.
It probably like
But
the cool
it
thing
would do
is
that on its own,
we
right?
have like weighting systems where even like most of the GPT models right now have a whole other GPT model that's like a coach,
Yeah.
and then literally for thousands of its outputs will
That's
read those outputs and then tell it or okay,
Mm.
and then that one is trained by humans and like it's just getting further and further away. But we do have
Yeah.
we have like, and I think there's, you probably would know what it's called, or you've probably heard about it, that there are now more and more sophisticated tests that we've now built specifically to try and test AIs, right? And they are scoring higher slowly but surely.
Mm.
But I think it is going to be a matter of, it will be a really good tool, right? In the same
Mm.
way that a car is very good at driving forward, it will get better and better at what it's designed to do.
Mm.
But the human, like, to me, the thing is, like, I have this dualistic perspective on the previous radiology thing, where in part I can understand why it's done that way, because removing that personal connection might make you a better
Objective.
yeah, make exactly like judge of what's happening in front of you. Because if your dad stuff is being read, you might be extra worried about him and see
Mm.
stuff that it isn't, or you might not want to worry about them and not see the stuff
Mm.
that is there. So in that way,
But again, the thing that I thought it was interesting was the fact that you there's no real system in place to receive any more information back from it.
yeah.
Like you're just kind of sitting in this internal like space. And I think one of the things that is interesting, and I always love having these conversations because it always brings like makes me think about interesting like ways to move forward with things. But like you always need feedback systems. Like there's this thing called online training, which basically means that you learn in the field. The AI doesn't learn pre-knowledge and then goes and applies it. It starts out applying it continuously, and every time you get something, it learns better and better and better. Most of the GPT models work that way, where like you get stuff, it starts pre-trained, and then every conversation it has with somebody, you can remember, you can tell it, yes, this was a good conversation, or no, it was a bad conversation, and then it keeps learning and iterating. So even if you have these bunch of small ones, there'll still have to be a system to feed back knowledge to let it know whether that knowledge was good or not. Um, and I don't know, there's so much done and so much work done on these systems at this point that like it's so complicated that
So I had this conversation this weekend at the wedding where we were talking about AI, and someone was almost like asking me why, right? Why so much money? Why so much hype? Why? And I articulated it in the way that it is essentially intelligence, right? That we're trying to extract from rocks.
mm,
And I believe, and this is my conspiracy, that they technically found what it is they think they need, right? And now they're trying to just create this space for it. And that's why there's so much rush to deploy data centers right now, because I think they technically already have what they need. If you get what I'm saying, right? To make the kind of money they want to be making in the future, they're
maybe.
already there for that kind of use case, right?
I just think that like first off, I think Sam Altman is a I don't want to get shot, so I'm not gonna say bad things
Sam Altman's
necessarily.
great.
He's a fantastic human
Great.
being. We're please yeah
Stargate's awesome.
yeah
Gigawatt machine.
yeah. So but like all that whole scenario that's been happening, and that it makes me concerned for the fact that I feel like there's two ways this is going. Either it actually really is something, or it actually is nothing.
And it's gonna be rough.
And it's gonna be rough, like to the point where they have literally nothing and they're freaking out because they've realized that they've hit a limit. And no matter how much more money you're pumping into this
wall.
thing, it's a wall. There's nothing more to be extracted out of it, or they've already gotten to the point. My leaning and my guess is it's the second. The reason I lean towards that side is the if I think if it was A, I do not think the you've seen that web of how they're funneling money into Nvidia
Oh
at the
yes,
moment.
the basically just like
I think
circular.
that they've realized that, like, if so in my opinion, if you already had what you needed, that would be irrelevant because you've already designed everything. You've already trained it on the systems and like things that you have,
You
or
would
even
already turn it on and
it would
start
already be
putting out
happy, and
money.
you would already be able to be like that money would be confirmed for your while. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be OpenAI sitting there begging for money from people
And
because
like,
they're
I
falling
mean,
apart.
if you, it doesn't take you long to find like Jensen Huang and like the CEO of Google basically begging people to start using AI. Like, come on, just like start using it and stuff. Like, it's
And
just
stop paying for it, because
yeah.
like, so my guess is it's the second, and they're pumping money into Nvidia because they're realizing that they're hoping that by getting more and more and more data centers built, they can break that hurdle at some point that they're running into.
And they want that advantage if it
If it
happens.
happens, they want to have the systems in place. It was so funny. I won't say who it was, but somebody told me a while ago. They were like, "Oh yeah, no, did you hear that Elon wants to put data centers in space?"
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what my very first thought was? What are you doing with the heat? Do you know how hard it would be to build data centers in space?
Technically, the way they would do it is they like it would be staggered, right? So the actual panels, and then it would be very thin, and then the actual center, and then radiative, and then it never is in the actual sun. It has to be in
Yeah,
the
it's gonna have to
shade
be
of
in the
vacuum.
fucking.
It can be done, and like what he wants to do is essentially like the whole supermassive boosters, right? Like they're trying to land those things, and if they manage that, it means they have how much is it? Is it 1,000 tons?
I think it's 1,000 tons of.
1,000 tons per payload, which
No,
is
the thing
a
from
crazy
the
amount
thing
of
for me
satellites.
is just I feel like it's such an interesting like aspect to want to put it in space for like sure because space isn't cold first off. Space is nothing. Space is only cold because the things you have want to leave you and equalize, and so it cools down.
Exactly.
But you still need mediums to like move that thing forward. So running that amount of heat and that amount of stuff in space is not going to be just a simple thing of like, oh, we just pull water out of the
The
thing.
one thing that I can give, why I think it will probably will see it. We'll see it by 2030-ish. They will start deploying data centers in space, and it's because they have so much practice with Starlink right
With
now.
Starlink, yeah.
Like that's a lot of practice. They're figuring out how to keep things cold because those things are operating up there, and they are staying charged, and they know how to decommission them in a way that.
No, I think
So
it'll
it's
happen as well. It's just crazy to me the amount of money that has been just funneled into this.
and like
Like
if we're going that far to the point of like
we're gonna put
rockets fueling them up into
into
space.
space, like trying to get this. Like, and I don't know. I just don't particularly understand the direction anymore. That's my I think why I get stuck. Like
The problem they're trying to solve is paying people salary.
yeah, it's but like I don't know. It's such a like I remember I've been reading so many people. I think most of it's been coming from America, and I know most of the friends are in America, and you're from America, so you can tell me if I'm right about that. But like, it feels like you guys have even here. It's been a little bit like that, but like for our cost of living is so low here that you can get away with it a lot less. Like you can get away with almost nothing here. But it feels
And you
like
don't freeze to death as easily
and
as well.
yeah, but
So
like
you don't have
this
to run heating, which is also
the
expensive.
States feels like it's in such a position of monetary inflation that like it's so difficult to live like as just on a salary that it feels like I don't know if
If
it's
you're not budgeting and making sure you're spending your money
am I
correctly,
right with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I guess it depends. I feel
thinking
like
about the amount of debt that's going on in
there's
that
a
way.
lot of debt. Yeah, there's a lot of debt. There's a lot of people that will like, you know, do what they can with like credit cards and get into some credit card trouble and stuff, right? Um, there are some resources and programs to help people as well. Like there's benefits like for like there should like mothers, right? I think mothers have benefits. Like single mothers should, I
That's
believe.
good.
I believe. Um, I couldn't confirm that, but yeah, there's programs that are there to help people. I think that like are in a certain poverty wage,
Mm.
but still, I think most people fall in that. At least a lot of, the wealth gap is huge.
Yeah.
The wealth gap is gigantic, and so like I was talking to you today about how I really don't see a ton of people outside of the class that I'm in. Right, middle class and lower class people. I feel like are like this mass majority, and then you have like this small pocket of people that kind of operate above everybody else
Mm.
up here. And
Mm.
yeah, so in that way, the cost of living is relative, right? Um, it is inflating significantly.
Yeah, it like the reason I'm asking about it is because I feel like what's your unemployment rate? Do you know?
It's
4%.
not bad.
4%.
Yeah, no, it's good.
That's
Yeah,
insane. How the fuck did you guys manage that?
yeah,
That's
it's
why it's
crazy.
the consumers of the planet, though, because a lot of people are employed.
Yo, that's
You know
crazy.
what it is? Freaking fast food. There's a lot of like, it's easy to get a job because there's so much like capitalism stuff that's happening. Like,
Yeah,
there's
okay,
so much
that's kind
like
of
fast,
crazy.
like restaurants
That's
and
insane. 4% unemployment. Do you know what ours is?
isn't it like third,
It's
third 50?
56%.
56%.
56
Oh,
to
jeez.
60%.
Yeah, for our age group, 18s to 30-year-olds, it's 65%.
Goodness. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it's we don't have enough jobs here because people don't have enough money here.
And we have stopped industrializing. We're
Mm.
Mm,
importing, like, and in that way, it is what it is. And America is trying to keep all of those jobs.
See,
Nobody really wants to work in a factory. The factories of the future will be mostly robotics. There will be less jobs in that way. More of the things need to be, I think the essentials need to be made locally. At the very least, for the fact that it's going to drive down consumer cost
mm,
eventually. Because how far something has to travel to get to the front of your door
Mm.
adds
yeah.
cost. And when you're in the point of like hyperabundance and material costs get so cheap, the last cost to
Labor.
eliminate is the distance and labor.
Yeah, I have you seen, you know who Destin is from Smarter Every Day?
Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
so have you seen his video on him trying to make a grill cleaner just
Yeah.
purely in America,
The
like from
little the
America?
mesh, and he,
Then
like,
he
even in trying to order from
okay,
America, he ends up getting Chinese
Chinese
chainmail.
stuff, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like it's crazy how much, and I remember like I think one of the funniest things that happens here is we mine the diamonds, export the raw diamonds, and then buy back jewelry.
Did you hear that Botswana is in trouble, bro? Because like something like a third of their like revenue is diamonds, and diamonds are collapsing in value. Did you see what gold's price is? $5,100 an ounce. I was like, what is happening? I mean,
Mm.
people are scared though. You can see financially, people are terrified
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
interesting, and I remember reading. Do you know that one of like so there's so many interesting things happening, and I don't know. Did you know that you guys have a decreasing birth rate,
Oh,
Yeah.
1.6?
Yeah. I've
It's
heard
a
that.
it's a con it's a decreasing
official.
birth rate,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay.
And South Korea is now at the worst birth rate on the planet, 0.7.
Mm.
So they're expected to be completely without kids by 2060. There will be like 8 kids per 100 women.
Yeah, like you'll see a
Wow.
kid and people will like gather
Will
around
gather
them.
around the kid. It'll be, and it's at the point where it can't be fixed anymore. There's too
Mm.
little people. You would need to have like 6 kids per woman to be able to like start
Stop the
fixing
problem.
the
Yeah.
problem.
And
So
they're not wealthy enough to be able. Are
No,
they? But they're
they
just
are
setting
kind
up
of, but
kind of
they
growth.
have
it's
a more social cultural problem with it, that
Oh.
it's like the culture is so work based and competitive based that people are focusing not on spousal relationships but
Mm.
work relationships, and then outside of that you don't have a culture where it's like as acceptable to have kids. You also can't have kids without being married. So there's like it's a social suicide thing if
yeah.
you have a kid
Interesting.
without being married. So what happens is people are more reluctant to do certain things without being married. So you end up in a like culture that bred itself to the point where
Yeah.
having kids is not socially acceptable, and that's why they've gotten to the point. Their economics isn't that bad. It's actually flourishing. It's at the highest point it's ever been.
Again, I think that's also in reason why there's so much rush towards getting AI. Because again, I think that's actually what they're gearing up for. Is they know there's going to be massive deployments of robotics in the next kind of like 10 years, and there's going to be even with the current level of stuff, data centers are going to help with
Mm.
like training environment and being able to run iterations, and then having a robot that feeds into that system, and then
Mm.
that system is going to be integrated and distributed. And what they're banking on, I believe at the very least, is being the guy that holds the keys to
That
sell
holds
that,
the key. Yeah.
distribute.
That's what they're all rushing for. And Nvidia's at the middle, being like, we're building the graphics
We're
card for
making the
everything.
chippies, so
Yeah, give us the
but
money.
China's trying to catch up, bro. Like they're making chips better and better,
Mm.
and they're making
Did
RAM
you
now as well, dude. So
did you see that the first barrel of oil was bought with yen?
yep, I saw that.
The very first barrel
And
without
I
being
don't
in
know
the
if you
dollar.
know this, but
Huh.
recently Standard Bank just opened direct rand to yen, so
Mm.
we can buy from them without having to use the US dollar.
What's also
That's an
crazy
intermediary as well.
is they developed their own card system now outside of Visa and MasterCard so that it runs through Shanghai, every one of their exchanges. So if the US sanctions them, they can still fully do trade with every country that they need to. It just runs through Shanghai instead of through the
Wow.
US. So there's this like massive cultural like
It's a battle of powers,
it's a battle of
bro.
powers. It's just instead of it being in the like traditional sense of war, I think physical war is almost dead.
I think so
I
too.
really think so. I don't think like I know there's still the wars happening, but like I don't know.
Look at the statistics, bro. Less people are being killed in war right now than ever
Yeah, for
before in
me,
our
I was also
history.
like, if you think about something very funny, I always like I remember telling my supervisor this, and she was so mad at it because I feel like she's one like I hope she never sees this, but she's a very negative human being, as in like the way she is. Like I was telling her, I was like, this is the safest time to exist. I know you don't believe me, but like it
Yeah.
really is. Sure, there are like statistics to show that it isn't, but you're getting world statistics.
Mm.
You're not sitting at the point where like you're like thinking about village per village and only hearing about the small amounts. When was the last time you traveled somewhere and thought bandits were going to be the problem?
Like
Like,
this, and like I mean, let me share it almost like from the American perspective. When Jo came here, there was a little bit of fear from her family, right, for her safety as well, and they wanted to make sure that she's safe because South Africa is perceived
it's
as
an
a
unsafe place.
dangerous place where you can get murdered. Our murder rates is twice as high as America's, which is 44 people in 100,000.
Mm,
America's is 19 people in 100,000.
mm.
Like the odds are so
But then
infinitesimally
what you're also
small.
not taking into account is where those murders are happening.
Exactly, it's
We have
hotbeds.
hotspots across the country where those things will happen, but
It
most
drives up the
it drives it
statistic.
up way. That's why like some of those statistics don't make sense. It's the
Yeah.
same way with how apparently, according to crime statistics, Pretoria is the second most dangerous place in the world.
In the world.
I have never felt unsafe in that whole place
Bro,
ever
like the
because
amount of walking in the street at night
that
and
you'll do because the thing is it's one it's not violent crime, it's petty crime because people are poor. That's one of the biggest ones, so people will
Yeah.
steal mattresses or TVs or stuff like that. I have like I've sat in my house with Chris with the door wide open. People have cut the electric fence and not jumped to steal the stuff, but waited until we left for the weekend to steal my TV. Because nobody here is
Oh,
like, I want to violently hurt you. I just want to
out of
eat.
necessity.
I
yeah.
just want to eat. You have a TV, I don't. I can sell TV for 10,000 rand. It lets me eat. You guys are here. I don't want any beef right now. When you leave, sure, maybe I'll do something. But like that like system tells me that it's not a problem of people being violent, but that there is not a social economics problem to the point of where you're just saying, sure, it's not everywhere. Sure, there are some violent crime that happens.
Like and the big thing with like the violent crime, almost to like echo the whole fractal of like wealth insecurity, is that it's usually territorial
Mm,
disputes that
it's
ends
gang
up
related.
yeah well territory can be like war, people trying to like annex land as well. It's territory where
Mm,
again it's this matter of like us thinking we don't have enough, or your if you do something in my place then I will be left with
mm,
less. It's a zero sum mentality
mm.
that has us at this point of
And
where
like one of the things that I was also to continue on to my point earlier, if you look at the two biggest wars that are like currently happening at the moment that everyone knows about, I don't want to talk about them, but they're still, if you look back maybe 400 years, 300 years, Europe had a place every single like 100 kilometers. There was a war between a duke and an earl, or a king and an earl, or something like that. everybody was constantly fighting each other, and now we're all like, you know what, it's kind of okay. Sure, we have economic wars, but we've gotten to the point where like people aren't necessarily dying for these like land grabs. People have realized that land, if you can, you don't even need to worry about food because some other place will make it for you. You just need to get the money together to buy that person's food, and you don't have to care about growing your own food. And that's kind of like where we come back to our like thing of everybody should be able to make basic stuff, and luxury stuff can be imported.
Yeah.
Let everybody have their specialization. Every country, like the way humans specialize individually. I don't know how to
I
grow
mean, like the
food.
Netherlands is lithography machines, bro. Like they really specialize and they making them lasers good, dude. And they can do that. And like
Everyone's gonna buy them at some point.
exactly.
I know Sweden's getting really big into the nuclear gens, like making
Uh-huh.
the
Small
salt gen. Yeah, the
modulars.
small modulars.
Dude.
Like that's their focus at the moment is seeing if they can make small, tiny salt nuclear generators.
It's so beautiful that we go into this topic as well. I talked about it just yesterday. How the wars of the future will be us essentially playing games, sending
Yeah.
our robots to go fight their robots, and it will and then I believe it's gonna be that, and then at some point there will be a switch from it being you're looking through cameras on this robot to you're just looking at a feed on a screen to you're just playing a game, fighting each other in that space instead of having to fight each other here. And then we can have all of the spoils of war, the victories over one another, without having to actually kill each other. I am gonna take a moment to read some comments.
Yeah,
We
please.
do have some friends. We got Sam here, Nancy, Truly J. We got a friend called Fortune. Bless you. We got Darren too. Love you again, Sam. Dan here. I don't think I'm missing anybody. We got
Hello,
a bunch of
friends.
new
Hi,
friends.
friends.
So much love to all of you. Let me see if I can
Doug,
run through some of them.
can
Dan
I
says,
can I quickly ask? Is there like can I grab something to drink in the fridge?
absolutely, yeah.
100%.
This you know the fridge, bro.
Yeah.
Anything you want, dude. Anything
Okay.
there's like there's a energy drink as well that I just had in the little
Ooh.
drawer.
In the.
The little you'll see there's a little drawer,
Oh,
yellow or yellow and red cans.
Thank you.
I have one of those. Caffeine.
energy
So we're a
drink.
bit. Gonna read some of these with me. Dan says, Sam, I've been listening to No More Tears a bunch this morning. Makes me feel badass and a little evil. And I was thinking of you. So much love. Judas Priest, you've got another thing coming in my anthem, Dan. Love is so much true. Like I've said Dan and I don't know if you know this, but Dan and Sam like connected on Discord
Yeah, I
and
saw that.
you know, super
I
wholesome.
heard that.
What about extracting from rocks? Good morning, friends. Oh, okay, future money. We're going to be extracting intelligence from rocks, right? And it takes a certain amount of intelligence to extract anything from rocks. And we've gotten good at that part, and now we're getting better at the other one. Good morning, Nan. Do you have any opinions on the US economy? That's a hoopy question. Is he asking Nancy? Maybe he's asking Johan. I think the US economy is going to continue to exist for a very long time. I'll say that much. I think we are definitely seeing a lot of infighting and a certain amount of instability and uncertainty about where your assets are safe. And that's why we're seeing precious metals explode like they are right now. And there will be a other side, right? There will be a collective consensus. There will be a calming down. All of us are very tense right now, right? We need to put down our sticks and embrace one another in hugs a little bit.
Where was it? I lost it.
Here
Someone
we
was
go.
reading.
The problem with AI, says Sam, is that y'all keep comparing it to humans. Until you stop trying to force fish to climb trees, you're never gonna appreciate what it actually is. So even though that's true what you're saying, Johan did share a very interesting perspective that in what 1983 you said a paper was published on AI back then that an algorithm's idealized perspective is that if it outputs the exact same thing a human would output given the same circumstances, right? That if I tell you, make me cake, and I give you a bunch of ingredients, right? The idealized sophisticated AI needs to be able to do that. And I think what Sam is saying is true because we're like, imagine having an alien land on planet Earth and you ask it to bake a cake. It would be a little bit redundant, but I feel I don't know if AI is thinking for itself just yet.
No, definitely not.
Exactly. And in that way, it's not that to me yet. I would love for it. That's a Luri. No, no, that's a Piet mijn vrouw. That's a Piet mijn vrouw,
Piet
yeah.
mijn vrouw.
That's a Piet mijn vrouw.
Yeah,
They're
they're
than I thought.
yeah,
been
their
watching it.
songs are like it sounds like Pit my Frau.
This morning we heard a bunch of them.
And then they'll get like real serious and they'll go, Pete my throat, Pete my throat, Pete my throat. Yeah, no, I didn't realize they were such big birds.
Yeah.
That is a really big. Well, it sounded like a little tiny bird to me.
Yeah. No, I still like I think to just your question is that like I think AI needs to get to a point where it's before we can make it esoteric again. We need to get to a point where we can explain what it does to a point where everybody is happy with it and understands it. Because what we've done is I feel like you can't design something with the most complicated system first. You have to incrementally get and make it more complicated. And the problem that we ran into is we figured out how to do this thing, and then it's like trying to fly, but you started with a jet. Nobody at this point actually knows how to fly the plane nor how to really rebuild the jet that we built. We're gonna have to restart and get to the point of explaining how that jet works.
Like South Africa's military jets, bro. I think there's only two of
There
them
is
still
only two left.
flying.
They fly over my
Oh,
house
wow.
every now and
Dude,
again.
Really?
like,
Yeah.
and all the rest are just like basically trash now.
Nobody knows how to
They're
rebuild them.
grounded. They're just standing there because they were built a long time ago, and the expertise was lost of like keeping them in check. And in
Yeah.
that way, like, it's kind of a good thing in my mind where, like, again, the reason that happened, at least for the military aspect of it, I don't know if it's a good thing in the ultimate sense, but for the military aspect, it's like we've realized this is so unimportant that it's not really worth our resources applying. And I think this is where America almost like got their roots. America has been a military power for a long time. Long time. And after what happened in Venezuela, the world again realized America is capable of dangerous feats.
They have $1 billion, not $100 billion. What was it?
No, it's not trillion.
It's now $1
It's
trillion
up to $1
a
trillion
year that you guys put into
your
your military.
military.
It's $1 trillion. It's more than every other country combined.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. And in that way, right, America is gonna be very dangerous. It's like a dog with really sharp teeth. It's like you wanna be friends with the dog. You're like, hey, good dog. In the Dream Tooth,
No,
send us love.
yeah, it's
Dream Tooth, $50.
Oh, crazy.
Keep the time dilators to the maximum. Yeah. Like Hoopy is like
On it.
Hoopy is on it though. We love you, Hoopy. Sending you bless, bro. The friends are updating it as well. Hey, update Hoopy's donation right now. Go and hit that updooty dootums. Love you, bro. I'm gonna get to some of your other comments as well. I think he might have asked you, what do you think about the US economy? He said something, reality has nothing on the idiocracy. Oh wow, I think we missed a bunch. Okay, here we go. No, still more. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, we're so far behind. Dan says, and I like this point, I'm also convinced that AI will uproot capitalism. The capitalist powers comes from dangling the carrot of financial security, and they're actively giving that leverage up by replacing labor with AI. Which is a very interesting point you're making, and I think I agree with you because as soon as, right, that they're, I think they can get away with it to the point where there's just going to be this, okay, I guess this is happening. People left hungry and without anything to do are not your friend.
No, they will never be your friend. Unfortunately, the thing is, I think what is also like kind of, it was funny. I was listening to music, and one of the songs that like appeared in my playlist today was "Blood in the Water." That song.
Yep.
And it
What
just
are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? The thing that's interesting to me is no matter how soft-spoken most of the populace is, given enough time and enough hunger and enough like lack of like being treated like a human, you start losing that like willingness. And I think most people forget what 1 million people can do. Like my favorite example in recent memory, in my opinion, that was like world famous was your Capitol building getting stormed. Like the fact that nobody stopped that, nobody was ready for it.
You can-
Yeah, how do you stop that
You-
many people from just doing
And
something?
it was like what, in the tens of thousands,
Yeah,
never
now
mind
imagine
millions.
100 million people are like, no,
Yeah.
you can't.
And we're now at the scale of billions.
And my favorite part at the moment is like I know that like in Japan they practice like their train system once. What happened was they started striking the train system, and all they did is they just refused to take payments for their trains. And a day later, every one of their demands was met because they lost the company
Yeah.
$100 million
Yeah.
dollars in like 3 days, and the company was like, okay, fine,
Okay,
fine.
okay,
Where was this at?
sure,
In Japan.
we can
Oh,
pay you,
Japan.
we can
Wow.
pay you the living wages. Okay, suddenly now it makes sense.
Yeah, and I agree with your opinion a lot. Where like I've always had the thought that like this is gonna sound very, very funny, but I am not that opposed to something like Mombots, where you have a system that is in place to just take care of all the basic needs to live. Because, in my opinion, one thing that I was actually talking about with my girlfriend recently was that I don't understand this want to make AI part of our creative culture. I get the point of making it able to let people be creative. I get that point. Like for people who aren't that artistic to be able to make art in that way. But I don't understand like specifically what I'm pointing at is like the fake videos, the like AI slop that's being made to
On
try
that
and
note,
force things.
Sora had a 99% reduction in users since it got launched.
Oh, really? Yeah, people
Reduction?
So yeah,
reduction. People stopped
reduction.
using it. We recently,
Interesting.
I saw the craziest thing. I went to Spur. Me and a bunch of friends, and we saw who we coined AI baby. It was a baby that had for 3 hours. This baby had an iPad in front of her with AI video, constantly
Oh my
producing a story.
god.
Not one break, not one cut, nothing. Just a single video that was being added with frames and new stuff and new stuff. And when she got up to leave, she had bow legs, which means that she's not getting enough vitamin D, she's not going outside, she's not getting enough exercise. And I didn't realize how detrimental that would be for the iPad kid problem of just being able to make infinite content for your baby and just put it in front of
And
them.
the problem is as well is that thing will realize, oh, I made infinite content, and then I did this thing, and then the baby clicked off. And then it didn't click off when I made this content, and then literally gets it to the point where that child just does not click off ever.
Yeah. No, so I think like there's a real worry in the way the cultural aspect of what AI's done and the lack of understanding of how the tool needs to be used. And I think like there's so much like with the whole thing of like the destroying capitalism aspect of it, I think is pretty good. I like the idea what capitalism
We don't even have real capitalism
no, I
right
know.
now.
What real capitalism should bring is innovation because you have competing people, which drives market prices lower as you're trying to make something more optimized for less price. That's what capitalism should do. Socialism should provide you your basic income and your basic needs, your ability to live, to just live, so that once you can live, you can then add on to society. And I think a system that breaks capitalism to the point of where so the socialist aspects effectively become free.
Yeah.
They become electricity, and once electricity
Dude,
becomes free,
You're making one of my favorite points now in a roundabout way, where I do imagine the future being kind of like blockchain based. And if we do peg our finances to something that's deflationary, like Bitcoin, eventually it will be more expensive in transaction costs to sell you a bread than it will be to give it to you for
for
free.
free.
Right? And in that way, that's how we get to that point where, like, okay, if you want yacht, if you want nice car, if you want fancy clothes, you pay for it. Food and housing and like basic necessities.
Do you know
That
that
shit
it's
is so.
already happening? Do you know that Amazon has they call it take back returns, where it costs them more to take the thing from you and put it back in their warehouse than it is to just refund you the money, and you can keep the thing. And that is like it's already happening to the point
The
of where
amount of like
stuff.
stuff that
Having
just stands in
literally like a
warehouses
shower.
where they have to pay to just have this warehouse space to store stuff that nobody wants, or if somebody could use it, right? Like,
just keep it. Here's the money back, keep it. We don't want to deal with it anymore. And like I think that's a really good point actually that you've made where it is going to get to that point where doing all the things surrounding the actual sale is more expensive than you just taking the fucking thing
exactly.
and then moving on with your life. And I think once that happens as like and it's either that or stuff becomes so cheap that it becomes null and void to sell it to you.
Think about like packaging, right? I was having a whole moment of uh like in the room as I was packing stuff where my dad got me a perfume. And then after I took the perfume out of the box now gets thrown away. And then as I was walking to the trash can with this box, I was inspecting it and looking at it, and it's good quality material. There's like a layer of film that gives it a certain texture on the outside, and then there's multiple layers on the inside to give it rigidity. And then if you open it, there's like a form that holds the bottle of perfume in its place, and then you throw it in the trash. Where I was like, in stuff like that, like we've already reached the point where what we value, like getting that, maybe this is my own opinion, but having like really nice graphic design and just like black and white, almost like picturesque on a paper bag, right? To put that thing in, to me would be just as valuable as that box. But people being able to throw something away that's nice, I feel is almost like something we need to unlearn
I think
a
it's
little
the
bit
the
as well.
problem is what you're sitting with is not that aspect. You're sitting with the thing that they're like I've been watching this dude. Sometimes it's funny. My YouTube Shorts algorithm will sometimes just give me somebody and then refuse to stop giving me like
The same.
information about that guy, like from that guy. But then sometimes it's really fun stuff. Like this guy, he's a marketer and like like a salesperson, but he talks a lot about like the fallacies and within humans on how we think about market, like things being marketed at us and why certain things are attractive and certain things aren't.
Mm.
And he was talking like he talks about so much, and I've heard him talk about the fact of like your wanting of things and how much it's dictated by your knowing that if something costs more, it's probably worth more. And it's if it costs more, it's probably better quality. So
Mm-hmm.
you sit with this problem where you look at a packaging because the packaging looks refined, you look at the price and you go worth it.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting with these people only being able to sell these things because they're putting that effort into the packaging that you throw away.
So that's where I would like to create a brand where people almost like understand that they're getting the good thing. And then when it arrives to them, it will be in the bare minimum kind of packaging. And I think it is going to be a kind of like brand consensus thing where it is like to almost like echo the truth of what you're saying. I'm one of those people, right? Especially when I'm trying to buy myself, like for instance, a supplement or like olive oil, right? If I see the olive oil is like pennies on a dollar kind of thing, the cheapest stuff you can get. I know. And I think they know as well. That's not going to be the best oil you can get.
Mm.
And then there is this moving up. And in that way, it's almost like this game that's being played. And I don't know if you saw that video, but they're already like experimenting with AI charging. So the AI knows your spending power. And then as you're walking through the aisles, it auto adjusts the prices that you look at on the products, and it will cost analysis determine whether or not you'll actually be willing to buy that product. And they've already started running that test with Lyft and Uber Eats with people ordering food. The differences right now is like $9. So they had like a census where they got 50 people into a room. Those 50 people ordered the exact same list of groceries. And then you would think they're in the exact same room, literally sitting in the same room, ordering the same things, and there's differences in prices, right? And I feel like that's where it also gets very messy, where uh, maybe it will be a good thing. Like I don't think it's going to be a good thing for. I can't. No.
No, for me, my the problem once again lies with that, and I'll say this, and then we can keep going to comments because we're gonna forget about it. But
Mm,
the problem that lies, and this is gonna come back to that old conversation that we've had, is the problem of why neither you nor I are going to get Neuralink anymore, even though I want a system for it so badly that will be able to let my phone and my brain connect to each other. I don't want to give a company that information and access
mm,
because what is the fundamental driving force of most companies? greed and money.
Data
A
as
data. So
well.
now you're sitting with a company that all they want is more money, and they're implementing something to price evaluate for you. Do you think they're not gonna over? It's not gonna. They're not gonna sit and force the thing to
Sell you
overinflate.
subscriptions that make you more powerful, bro. Like,
Like you're sitting at a point where the people supplying you this don't have your interest in heart. They're there to fuel and line their own pockets. And so every decision that they make, or 99% of companies make, has to be thought of what is it gaining them. Very few times is it beneficial to you rather than beneficial to the company giving you that thing.
yeah, I definitely have a part of myself that's like wishful thinking or hopeful, where if you go and like listen to the actual team behind Neuralink, those individuals working on the ground, building the technology, they want to make a difference,
Mm,
right? Every single one of those people are someone like you that specialize in something and they want to be valuable to their community and valuable
mm,
to that company and
I
they want
think
to make
that's
a
something
mark.
that's really important is
mm.
like knowing the integrity of like the company that you can support, right? But like I think that's one thing is as companies get bigger and bigger and bigger,
Mm.
it's hard to tell what is driving it. Is it a monetary thing that's driving it? Is it because people care about what it is they're doing? But like there's so many different people that are involved,
But like,
right?
can I just my thing that to just like I think to like make your point more valid. Look at OpenAI. They started as a non-profit organization.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There was a that's why they're called OpenAI, AI for everyone.
Mm.
And then they started seeing billions of dollars, and they changed, and they stopped being a non-profit organization.
Uh,
So it's
Yeah.
literally what you're just saying is like happening constantly. Is that size scale, and you're then just falling into a trap of, like you said, whether it's is it monetary, is it just for the planet? Why
yeah.
are these companies doing the things that they're doing? And if I can iterate something that you said, is the people behind the thing don't matter, unfortunately, in the grand scheme of what the company does at the end of the day.
Mm.
The people on the ground can do the
Yeah,
best and want the
even if it's
best.
like exactly the best people ever that built the machines, if the company starts, exploiting their users down the line, it's still gonna be a net bad.
It's still unfortunately not their decision. And I don't know if we've ever spoken about, but I remember I feel like that the idea of what was it, employer companies is something, employee companies is what it's called, or
Oh
something.
yeah,
People that
employee-owned
unite
Employee
companies.
owned
Yeah,
companies. And I feel like those
Oh, like
companies basically where every employee gets a share of the total
I
company.
think Bucky's. I think Bucky's.
what are they
That
called?
like gas station. I think Bucky's is a like what do they call them?
Are you talking about in the
Cooperative.
United States or?
Yep, in the United States. Hey Google, is Bucky's considered a cooperative owned by its employees? Or is there a gas station? Okay, it'll probably tell me.
I mean,
So essentially, and they're pushing profits, and
They're making a
yeah,
huge amount of profit.
exactly, and their employees are happier than ever
Mm.
because they actually know while it's offering. Oh, okay. So Bucky's is not an employee owned. What chain is an employee owned one? And again, I think it is going to be a matter of at the end of the day, who are you going to give your time to, right? Who are you going to work for? The
Mm.
people that actually value you or not? There we go. So here are some of the ones in America: Publix, Supermarket, Winco, uh, Skills, Old Sports, Bookshire Brothers. Is that the one that I thought about? I think Bookshire Brothers is the one I thought about. Grocery and Fuel operates many stores and gas stations in Texas and Louisiana.
mm, I don't really know many of these. I know
Yeah.
Publix.
So
Oh,
retirement wealth,
REI.
how it works. Unlike a standard cooperation where profits go to outside shareholders, in these companies they have retirement wealth, where employees often leave with significant six-figure or sometimes even seven-figure retirement accounts because they actually own a piece of the
Yeah, they
company's
own,
growth.
and every employee gets a piece of the company. So your thing is you're not working to make somebody else rich. You're working to make yourself money.
Right.
It's every single amount of effort that you're putting in comes 100%
Back
back
to
to
you.
you.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like we are losing comments or at least falling behind on them.
Very badly.
We love you, friends, and thank you for being here with us. It's good to see you, Johan. I hope you're well, buddy, says Sam.
Mm.
That's nice. 4% unemployment, but we've got people working 3 jobs and still can't cover rent.
Yeah.
That's also true, and I think that skews the numbers a little bit even. I can't hear Jovan.
Okay.
I can put it here. Then it should be able to hear me, and it should be able to hear you a little bit better as well. Then thank you, Nancy, for letting us know. We want to hear you too. That's called the proletariat, proletariat, and the
Pro.
bourgeoisie.
Bourgeoisie.
That's where we are right now, unfortunately.
Proletariat.
Proletariat. Thank you, Johan. But I'll remind you all that Rome had divisions like that as well,
Mm.
separating slaves in the lowest classes from the upper class that held office and made the rules,
Do
and
you,
it was their undoing.
do you know what was crazy though specifically about Rome and Greece? I was that their voting systems was, I'm trying to remember what it was now or something. It was like it was a democracy, but only 4% of their populace was allowed to vote. You
Sure.
had to be in a certain tax bracket to be able to be part of the voting system. So
Because
it
you're
was
paying your dues,
democracy, but it was a very small democracy that handled
pay
this
to win democracy.
effectively. Yeah.
Wow. We have Hoopy saying, Sam, are you terrified? I'm wondering if Melt knows any of these terrified people. I mean, I can be a terrified person sometimes. The world is a scary place. I just, after being terrified, I breathe about it. And then I realize I haven't died yet. And then I stop being scared because it doesn't really serve me going forward. No, my Heavenly Father has assured our family that the hardship going around will not touch us. Part of being on the Jesus train is taking shit like that right to the bank. So, no way. Sad. Not just a decreasing birth rate, but people under the age of 35 in America aren't partnering up. They aren't hooking up even casually. It's true. They're not
Yeah.
socializing at all.
Mm.
It's also a function of working culture here too. I think gold is around. It's $5,000 an ounce now. Like go and look at. It was. I'm with you, Nancy. It was like $4,400 an ounce 10 days ago, and now it's five
She
thousand dollars
she
an ounce.
says she thought she saw it.
Yeah, holy smokes! There it is. I just looked. It's more over 5,000. It's wild, right? It is so wild. Sets spanner aside. That's why you don't name call here because it'll yeet you into the darkness. Sam has bunked someone out of existence. Earthquakes, war, disease, and food shortages. Food shortages. What the hell is going on? Uh, all of that stuff has been going on this whole time, but that's not the only thing going on, and that's the thing that we have to find hope in, friend. Breaking in, we for that one. Sam, you're the honey badger of the chat.
Oh, that's
Taking
awesome.
no shit. Love is true. I'm not gonna have people in here implying or being promoted. Like what? Yeah, exactly. Love to you, Sam. Toothy, to answer your earlier question, I'm worried about the economy. So much debt. That's probably cranked up the printing of money. Yeah, I think the US has already added three, or is going on four, new trillions of US debt. Right? And it is. Like,
No,
I love how
the
they started with, like, yeah, fiscal responsibility is going to be our thing.
no, the thing is, the hilarity of that whole situation is that money doesn't really exist.
Nope.
They don't owe anybody anything really. They just say it's there, but
I
like,
mean, the debt that they're selling, so bonds, they do technically owe, but they owe them
yeah,
like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from
yeah,
now, the
but
interest that they said they were going to pay. But as you said, when they get there, they refinance that debt and then they just make the number again out of
Yeah,
nowhere. So
it's
it's,
like at this point, like none of it really
Craziness.
exists anymore. It's all a figment of our imagination so that we can keep existing.
and that's why precious metals are exploding right now
Yeah,
because people are
okay.
suddenly getting with,
No,
oh, wait a second.
the fact that if I were to hack into my bank account and add 2 zeros to my bank account, that money is just out of nowhere.
And
It comes from nowhere. Nobody would
unless
ever.
there is a real sophisticated AI watching all the accounts, it wouldn't even be
It wouldn't
noticed.
even be
And
noticed that it would happen. Maybe some bank account would be like, wait, but last time you only had this. Why did you just spend more than you had? Like maybe, but then like
it'll like they will have systems in check to flame.
yeah, but
But
like
that's the whole quantum risk thing as well, bro. Like if every single dude's bank account at the same time is compromised, right? I think that's gonna be the real thing. Like you don't even have to issue money. there's probably accounts out there in the same way that have so much cash in them that taking $1 million from it won't even be noticed in the same way, where it's like, oh,
Did you know there's a trust fund in South Africa that owns a third of all the land in South Africa? It's a Zulu trust fund.
I do know that actually.
It's basically a trust fund for the Zulu people, and you can be. They have a king that oversees the trust fund and everything, but they own a third of all the
South
land in South
Africa.
Africa.
They have so much farmland that they could produce enough food to basically become a major world exporter.
The thing that's crazy about it is whenever the land grabs happen in South Africa, where like the people want to be like, oh yeah, my ancestors own this land, they're the ones that kick back against the hardest because they'll lose all their land. So there's more money in some like people that you don't even know about, that like you could never even fathom, like trust funds that you can't even think about.
I mean, like, one dude, our president, is like going on a almost South African trillionaire. No. 600 billion, 600 million rand net worth. I think that's right.
I think that's
Six
more
hundred
right.
million
Something like that.
So that's about 34 million US dollars.
As
Net
a
worth.
president of a country where your average wage is, if I remember correctly, I think it's $1,000 is your average wage. No, $500.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
$500.
$500, 10,000 rand. Yeah.
10,000 rand is your average.
So it takes the average person like a year to earn, and that's before cost of living, like what, $10,000.
Yeah, you'd earn what, 5,000,
No, $5,000.
$6,000.
$6,000.
$6,000 a
And this
year.
oak is just like walking around with 34 million of it, and he has so much farmland as well.
The hilarity of that whole situation is that our president is not Zulu.
Nope.
That is why we have such a problem in our country of people of corruption, is because we have a system where there's a lot of cultural infighting under the African the African cultures, and if you are like, if I think he's Swahili or something like that, and so he sits with a problem where most of the people in office are Zulu or Koza, and so they won't listen to him because they don't consider him to be their person of power.
They're not one
The
of
king of the
theirs.
Zulus has the power over that culture. So the president can say whatever the fuck he wants,
Makes
and
it-
they will not care about it.
Like
You're
we
literally
have this word that
they
goes
don't care.
in Afrikaans that goes, "Je poept teen wind."
Yeah, you fart against thunder.
You're farting against thunder, trying to overpower the thunder with your farts.
Yeah.
You can try it that way, Hoopy. All of the people here who could possibly say something offensive, you're at like the very bottom of the list. That I like how he's asking Sam. I thought everybody just said every kind of thing here. Yeah, we're used to Hoopty saying things. Hoopy doesn't try to be derogatory at the very least. Sam, I don't think like you. I just think there will be more to come on that note. You're right. So what Hoopy is saying, that doing these kinds of working online, there will be unsavory characters if we have to identify them as such, and at the very least, we should just like not let it affect us. I'll say that to you, Sam, and maybe that's what Hoopy is saying. Is like, don't show fear, right? Don't give them the satisfaction.
I know, are you saying that?
The wasp trying to eat
Whoa,
that butter spider.
and the spider being like,
Hey, oh, don't you be.
that
Yeah,
was
like wasps
crazy.
are number one spider eaters, technically, dude. There's two of them, dude. They look like them.
Well,
We're watching some Nat Geo at the window.
yeah, it's crazy.
Sam also said, let me see if I can say it another way. Star Trek taught us how to treat new and emergent life, and it's not by trying to handicap it like Harrison Bergeron, so we can still feel like special snowflakes. Where it's like, oh, they're getting really smart. Let's bomb them back into to the Stone Age, so we can feel smarter than them. Hoop, that you do not think like me is why I treasure you so much. That's wholesome. We got Spirit Brothers Suck. Maybe it's Spirit Brothers UK. I'm sorry if I just this on you. Hello, everyone.
What is the what?
It's Spirit Brother, and then it's
No, it's Spirit
Brothers
Brothers
UK.
UK.
I get that, but it like the Spirit Brothers suck, and I'm like, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. Hi everybody, paranormal investigators from the UK here. New to your channel, seems pretty cool, guys. Hope all is well.
Hey,
friends.
cool.
Love to you, dear friend. This is a part of me. Like maybe consider putting just like a little dot between the Spirit Brothers and the UK. Please. Because I don't want people to.
Make
Because
the mistake that you
Spirit,
just made.
Spirit Brothers cool. That Spirit Brothers suck. How dare you?
He's actually saying sorry. That's what he's
I
trying to
know, I
say.
feel bad. Because I'll share my perspective, bro. Afrikaans people, they know the word milk. Alright? So when I tell them I go by melt, they think I'm telling them I'm going by milk.
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 Like I'm calling myself milk. And I'm like,
Milk. Call me
no,
milk.
and it makes me cringe to my fucking core when they're like, milk? I'm like, no, like smelt.
That's
Oh,
funny.
yeah, welcome, yeah. We'd love to hear some stories, Spirit Brother. That's wholesome. I think he's still here. Yeah, love is being
Nice.
shared. He's saying hi to the friends. Welcome, dear friend, indeed. We do this every day, little by little, consciously evolving together. My name is Sam. I imagine it will be easier than typing out my whole username. Love is true. We love you, Sam. Thank you for joining us. Keep telling us your name so we'll remember. People must know.
Hey,
Good
Moonman's here.
Moonlight. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, greetings. Hope you're all doing well. And that new guy is a scientist. Who is he? He's literally
He's a doctor.
a scientist. At this point, he's a scientist. He's on his way to becoming a doctor. He's a computer scientist. Yeah, so what are the odds? Someone's
I like
like,
to say that.
looks at you through this window, is like, that guy is a scientist. Who is he? He's like, he's a scientist. That's who he is.
It's so scary. I don't like it. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I remember when I got my degree, I was like, shit, what I say matters. Like, wait, I can't just, like, I have authority now. I don't like it. I don't
Suddenly,
There's
like
like
the.
There's like
papers
these
published in
over
your
your
name.
shoulders.
There's literally papers published in my name, and like I was so funny the other day. Like me and one of my colleagues were talking about it. We were like, I don't know how I got here. I'm a dumbass. Like I'm just some dude that happened to be autistic enough to like something enough to want to do something
Love
with
computers.
it. And now I'm here and people are like, whoa, you're so smart. I'm like,
You did
please
too
don't
much
look at
and
me.
you got too important.
Yeah, please don't look at me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'll still make the joke every time after he's a doctor, you know, I'll be like, hey, you on? Kan ik alsjeblieft de doktersafspraak maken? Can I please make a doctor's appointment?
I'll die.
That's how you need to ask to hang out with him.
Exactly. Just to poke some fun. Hey, it's like, stop doing that though. You're making me cringe. A warm thank you to Melty and Sam, Hoopty, for keeping this space a neat and timely cyberspace, sharing and staring into the abyss together. What a beautiful sentiment that is, Hoopy. I'm imagining it like we're all sitting around a fire, and instead of it being stars above us, it's just like the emptiness of the void. And we're just as stoked to be there around the fire. This energy we're creating together is the fire, staring into the void that is the unknown. Sending you love, Hoopty. Thank you for being here a part of this space as well, bro. It wouldn't be as meaningful if not for you adding meaning to it. I see zero sum mentality, Meltmore. I sometimes think zero sum mentality as well. However, robots. I'll keep saying fucking robots and solar panels and batteries. If you really think about that, suddenly zero sum stops making sense. Eventually. I think 2044, Johan, that's gonna be the year where things just suddenly click.
Did you see the memes about everybody being like 2026 is 2016 again?
2026.
Because everyone was like 2016 was better than 2025. Because 2025 sucked for everybody, and I feel like it's such a funny sentiment. Because I kind of agree that it's further away than everybody thinks, but sooner than everybody also thinks. I think it's in that like the year 44 is a pretty good year.
Like I think people don't think world peace is ever achievable, right? So if it takes
I
us
don't think I think it'll take a
if it
fucking
takes
long
us
time.
2 more decades, that is like no time at all.
What is it that makes it world peace? The non-violence.
For
the
me, it's
petty-
non-violence.
I,
Actual
I'm
non-violence.
also on the. I don't think there'll ever be non-competition.
Yeah.
Humans are the thing is we haven't had enough time to create enough like cultural division within generations because there have been too few generations to change the way we view peace like no okay how do I, what am I talking about specifically because I had a good basically the idea of non-competition is too many generations away for it to be a realistic idea but no violence is definitely realistic within our generation or our kids because none of us want to go to war.
I've never been in a fight since I
Neither have
became a
I.
person, bro.
Neither have
Like,
I.
I think I'm very capable. I think I'd win a fight,
No,
but I don't want to be in a
there's
fight.
no. I will forever quote Gandhi's of you cannot be a pacifist if you're not capable of great violence. For if you're not capable of great violence, you're not a pacifist but harmless.
Yes.
And
I love that.
fucking Gandhi. And so like that is everybody needs to be willing to defend who they are and what they are, but your choice should be peace. You should be talking things out before not directly going into harming people. That is not useful.
Yeah,
So I think
swinging
that's very
fists.
applicable.
That's something. So like, conscious evolution, right? I feel like peace is a lot more attainable than we think it is if we're going in the direction that we think that we're going. Because wars, like you said, aren't going to be fought with violence. I think anymore. They're going to be fought more so with on like computer stuff. People are it's superpowers fighting for power. For like the superpowers fighting for more power, which creates this scarcity effect in society. And in that scarcity effect, that's whenever you have like these small crimes that happen against each other. And so there's like these little micro like things that are happening down here. But when we're talking war, I don't there is profit on war. That's the thing that can happen. There is profit on war. So making these like little small things fight down here, there can be profit. But I still do think that the world is going towards a place where wars aren't going to be fought physically with violence. And in that way, at least that's going to be a space that's closer towards peace. Right? We're making little small steps towards peace in that way. And maybe that's hopeful thinking.
No, I think you're 110% correct. The reaction from the global community every time something happens is I think
Yep.
the best way to see what's
Dude,
happening
just
about
yesterday, we were having this conversation in a weird way as well about the they. Like the topic was like there's a they. There are people who have consolidated power, and then there are the people who don't have
I
that
remember
consolidated
just
power.
as like when I was a kid, I would always go to my dad and be like, "They said this." And my dad would be like, "Who is
they?
they?"
Who is they?
And it was always so hard to articulate who is
Like
they.
trying to explain to him that there's a scientific consensus in that way or something. And the point I made is that they used to fight people, and now with the internet being accessible to everybody, they're fighting vibes.
Yeah.
And the vibe is not something that they control in the same way anymore. They can try with their media, but if people don't have the means to continue living, they don't have the means to pay for food, to send their kids to school, to be able to get to their workplace and back, to put clothing on their own bodies, the vibe will drop. And if that vibe drops hard enough, revolution.
The thing is, like, what I think is also unspoken about a lot is the fact that there's so much global phenomena about stuff. The access to mob mentality to happen within a group of people on the internet is massive.
Like the
If
current
that
political climate.
if that vibe drops to a point where the mob mentality starts happening on a cultural level because of the internet, you will not stop it.
It's impossible.
Like you said, revolution. It's like a level. It's okay, revolution. Like it's
Exactly.
literally just like suddenly it'll
And
happen.
again, I think they know as well that if that was like a tank, adding food and housing and healthcare to that tank keeps it from getting to that level. And it's gonna be a matter of like you can either fight billions of people, or you can make sure you don't have to fight billions of people. These are your options ultimately.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I feel really bad to speak about the whole like authoritarianism happening in your country at the moment
Yeah.
with the army being called into different like metropolitans and stuff. But like that's their current like warding off of that idea happening. But again, thousands of people cannot fight hundreds of thousands. Unfortunately, it's just not capable.
Yeah, we're gonna have to grow up, oh, little by little.
Yo, I've
Grow
loved
up.
growing up though.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
gonna such a tangent, but yo, it's been so much fun.
Nice.
It's been so much fun getting like understanding the climate, influencing culture, learning about the world, and like learning how much more we've been learning about the world than previous generations,
Dude.
and not having to play catch up in the same way that the previous
I
generations
was
had to
nerding
play.
out about alloys on that copy with Joe, where it was like people don't realize just us understanding alloys, how much that has done for our society.
Izzy and I were talking about like the fact of like how much more base knowledge we have as like people comparatively. Like one of the reasons that I feel like AI is so easily understandable within our generation versus the older generations is because you grew up skeptical. Your brain is wired into the this is fake until it's proven to me that it's real. It's not just things are real until I see it proven wrong.
Like to add to that, I, as a kid, didn't just take what my parents said as fact. As you said, always I would be skeptical and I would go in reference. Like I just got told this thing. For example, one of the things my grandma told me when I was a kid, she told me about someone that had their vehicle hijacked from them and then got murdered in the process. And I was like, I was a little kid, and I couldn't for the life of me understand because at that point resources weren't something that I could understand. And to like echo your growing up fractal, right? And I couldn't understand why someone would want to kill someone for their car. I'm like, cars are everywhere. Why
Yeah.
would you why would you kill a person for this thing that I see
Everywhere.
everywhere all the time? And then she goes, "Antay tahaharag." Because he smoked weed. That's why. Not that he was poor, not that they got into a scuffle and that's probably why the murder happened. Because he did this drug, right? And in that way, I feel there is this complete disconnect about what's going on. And then there is this perpetuating of misinformation in the family unit. And some people, I feel like we're lucky ones. Like we got into our growing period at the same time as the internet
Yeah.
became available to us, and it became this like whole shift that we had to take. And I feel the kids that are being born right now might have the opposite problem where they are way more influenced than I think even we understand. I mean, like, just think about the 6-7 thing. And I know we had like 21 in our generation as well, and we were making that joke as well. But you saw my little cousins.
21.
Yeah.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
21.
That dumb
That-
thingy.
you weren't there for that vine.
I guess not.
It's just again technically a number joke.
That's the thing. Like, there's all these little trends that kind of keep happening that are going to be a thing.
I
It's
mean,
like,
kids were eating Tide Pods.
yeah, right,
At
right.
least they're not
There's a
doing that
thing.
anymore.
I guess that's a memorable one. That was part of my generation.
Eating
Like,
some
dang.
Tide Pods. I'm also doing well. Hoopty. Moon Knight said, "I'm just losing some parts of my brain to physics and math." Sleep well.
I believe in you.
Get enough sleep. Doing physics and math is hard on your brain, and sleeping will help it. The only thing that can make me okay is is a cup of coffee. Let's grab one. No, you need to sleep more.
You need to sleep,
Sleep.
The
bro.
coffee will help in the short term.
But more important than sleep is a regular sleep
A regular
schedule.
sleep schedule.
So
There's
don't-
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
please.
No, totally. Yeah. I mean, like, you want to get your circadian rhythm. That's more important than like stockpiling on sleep where you can get it.
And you might be like, "Oh, but Joe, I'm busy sometimes." It's more important
Do your best.
that you wake up at the same time
Yeah.
every morning than it is for you to sleep at a certain time every night in that way as well to keep your sleep
Yo,
schedule consistent.
One of the best things before I show you this absolutely insane video, there's just an app. It's called Sleepy Time. It's literally an app where you're like, I want to wake up at 7. And it tells you when to go to sleep for your REM cycles. So
Yeah.
you don't wake up within a REM cycle and you
Dude,
feel
that's pretty cool.
This
though.
is one of the best things.
I have been doing it in my head when I go to sleep
Right.
automatically.
Yeah, me too.
Because
can-
I've also become aware
And
of
this
REM
one,
cycle
you can
thing.
just go, I'm going to sleep now, and it'll tell you when you can wake up within your REM cycles.
That's cool, dude.
Sleepy Time.
Sleepy
Free app.
Time. Nice, I'll get that.
If you want to upgrade,
I'll get it
upgrade.
on that one. Yeah,
This
the
is-
Whoop is. But does it do that?
It tells you it can set an alarm to the most optimal time for you to wake up, according to like
You
how
see,
rested you
See,
are.
that's a really
That's
nice
so
one.
cool.
Yeah, it's based on your like how much time you spent in REM, how much time you
That's-
spent in light and heavy sleep, and
So
everything.
it's so funny currently. There's this app. I don't know. You guys have probably seen the things for it. Rise Sleep. It's this basically thing where it calculates how much sleep that you're in and stuff like that. But so they came out with the app. Downloaded the app. It was paywalled.
Oh,
I made myself, like you get on Apple you can make widgets. These thingies. Use the widget, bypassed their paywall. So I started using it for free for 2 years. Then they figured out that that was a thing. So I stuck it on my Apple Watch.
And
What?
And now it is still bypassing their 1,500 rand a month or something ridiculous like that.
Nice.
Free thing.
yeah, like the Whoop does that too, but it is a subscription.
I mean, you have to. You
a
have
dollar
to
a day? It's $30 a month.
They have different programs. Yeah, they have different
But
ones.
that's
and
not
there's-
even that bad. Well, like it depends on how well it's working for
It works
you.
really well, and like it's worth it if you make it worth it.
Yeah,
Like,
and Jovan actually does use your data, and she like looks at it.
Yeah.
And
So I
and
want
it's helped me. I could say that. I mean, in my opinion,
Mm.
and maybe that's a luxury that I have to be able to afford. Use one of these things. And of course, they do have deals and stuff too. So I'm like, oh, if I sign this person up, I'll get a kickback, and get a free
Mm.
month or whatever. So like they incentivize you in those ways.
your
but,
dad uses one as well, right?
Yeah, we've all gotten kickbacks off one another in that way.
That's funny. No, you see, I would get that for myself because sleep is so important to me, and I need comfy sleep systems. Like I
Yeah.
can't. Sorry, I need a system where because I sleep irregularly, kind of, and what happens a lot these days is my girlfriend will go to bed before she'll fall asleep with me streaming games to her, and then I'll wake her up and we'll go to bed later. But like I'll then be up for the night because she wakes up early, I stay up late. But so when I check, sometimes there'll be 1 or 2, and then I don't know what time to go to like wake up for me not to feel like absolute
when you're
shit.
like,
You're like waking up and you're like, where am I? What year is
Where
it?
it like
Why
feels
do
like
I
there's
exist?
like a bunch of scoops taken out of your brain.
Yeah. No, this thing has a really awesome feature to where it will actually start vibrating to wake you up slowly.
Oh, that's also absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
One of the Apple Watch, which is my hilarious thing, is I didn't buy this. I got given this for free.
Oh, nice.
But its alarm system is a vibration system, and it is so much more comfy to wake up
yeah.
than your phone just full screaming at you.
Like with my
Right.
yoga classes, this little thing I use some like timer. So double click, and I get a bunch of different time slots for like hitting a timer, and also just having it. Bzz, bzz, okay, now the timer is over. Instead of just having this thing like starting to blare at me.
So I want to quickly. I don't remember if I showed you guys this video. This was a video that was shared on my family group.
Sure, it is pretty
Whoa, where's
Okay.
this?
there. This
No.
is AI.
Oh,
This
geez.
is definitely AI.
Okay.
No, okay. So you've seen that. You've seen. We'll show it to the friends now. Okay. Family freaks out, and I'm now debating whether I tell them. But I want you to see if you can see
I
something.
can see so many things.
Okay, but there's one glaring fucking thing happening in this video that is a very large question, and the moment you see it, you can't imagine that you missed it for so long. See if you can figure it out. Watch it one more time.
For me, the water like literally starts pulling from a place that doesn't exist.
I have a better question for you. Where does the mountain go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it also just disappears. Like after the water comes over, like the object permanence is just like, oh, there is no
Yeah.
more mountain left there.
Like, and then I'm looking at this video. You can show the people. Like, I'm looking at this video, and everybody on the group chat is freaking out, being like, "Oh my, people are dying." Looking at, and I'm like, but like, sure, the first time I looked at it, I
And
was
that
like,
thing has 310,000 upvotes. So
Upvotes.
that's like hundreds of millions of views at that point.
Yeah, people are gravitated towards. It's crazy to see where people people are gravitated towards what they want to feed their brain, and like there's going to be people that are gravitated towards this kind of content it's brain rot. We've always had brain rot, but now we had it to a point where it can not to be scary, but produce like mass psychosis.
it's like accessible brain rot. You don't have to put as
Yeah.
much effort into
Yeah,
making
like,
that brain
Right.
rot.
Some part for me, I at one point would like watch these like dank meme compilations.
They're funny.
And some of them are pretty funny. But again, it took some dude with editing skills to like have that idea and put it together in that way and like deep fry and like maybe play with audio and like it still took some effort and like there's a certain like why would someone think that as like a part of the comedy
Yeah.
and experiencing it and now it's just
So
devoid of any
there's two
meaning.
people that I know of that I still watch regularly. That's funny to watch. Like one of the people is this channel called Unusual Videos, and he has like he gets permission for the clips.
Okay.
So all of the clips are like he will get permission for. So you know that the clips that he has are almost certainly real, and then the other one's Daily Dose of
Yeah.
Internet. But he also has another one now called Daily Dose of Pets,
And
it
Daily
is
Dose of Gaming.
and it's so cute. I love those videos. So like some of the stuff because people are still putting effort into it. I feel like something to come back to, a thing we spoke about way in the beginning. Is the fact of like the cultural impact and like the art impact of AI, where like you still have such a valuable aspect to people making things. Like you still value like an AI image, beautiful, but if somebody makes that AI image by hand with paint, it will always be better for you than if you just quickly ask something to generate it
and
for
I
you.
feel a lot of it right now, and I think it's a good thing that it's happening. Is like it is a social stigma. At
Yeah,
this
it
point.
is. It's good. It should
Yeah,
never leave.
exactly. Because if I have a like a beautiful work of art on my wall, and someone asks me who made that, and I go AI, generally the vibe will be like,
Yeah.
versus say a name, tell a story. I met this person here. I saw them there online, found their work, and like, and I think that story aspect is why we have that stigma because it's very difficult to have a meaningful story because you might have a meaningful story for yourself about how you got to the point where that AI produced that image, but there's a meaning in the fact that someone applied like some sort of effort to making a work of art and another person can appreciate the fact that someone did that pointing at the art and it's the someone thing. It's like the attachment to the story aspect of it. We're not gonna let go of that part and we shouldn't.
Yeah.
You are valuable. You are the creator of value. Like really, even if it's you're selling your time, even if it's like I had this thing that I would say on stream a lot. If what live stream has ended.
Huh? No.
It definitely didn't, right?
It might have, where it might have ended and then didn't tell us. I don't know if it wasn't live and is live now again, but it might even be time for us to start wrapping things up. Oh,
Is it just dead?
Is that for real?
it looks like it. It doesn't want to open it. Let me just search my own name.
Yeah, I can grab it.
Hey, this.
It's dead. But people are still chit chatting. There's like still comments coming through.
You know our friends. They can still access the chat window. They're still probably just having chats.
Nope.
You can see
It's still live.
here. Darren is here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Darren.
that's so strange.
Yeah.
Though. Like, why would it?
Maybe it's some South Africa stuff.
That's so strange watching myself point at myself with the thing. That was very like ding 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 ding.
Okay, well, I can't access comments here now suddenly. Let me try turning my app off and turning it on. Don't laugh at me.
Somebody just said I just saw the boogers in your nose, Mel.
Do you have boogers in your nose?
Do I have boogers in my nose?
No, I don't
They
think.
saw them.
I don't think you do. I would have said something.
You don't have boogers in your nose? Everybody got some booger in their nose sometimes. Oh.
It is very slow. I
There
will
we go.
admit that.
At the very least, you can know that if I'm an AI, I'm a very sophisticated one, bro. Like if I can get the granularity of boogers in nose, that's some cool stuff. I
The
think
irony in that comment. To be sophisticated with boogers, like
it is. It's a pretty.
No, but it's right. It's an ironic comment because it's like to be sophisticated, I'd have to be a sophisticated AI to get boogers in my nose. It's just ironic.
And how sophisticated are you? You got boogers in your nose all the time. All right, we're missing some still. Yo, I don't think we're gonna get all of the comments.
You're not getting all of them.
Love is true. Exactly. Yeah, the profit-driven company, direct access to my brain. Imagine just being convinced. Imagine having the dopamine in your brain go up 10% when you see this product that you didn't know you wanted. Just like, why do I feel really good about wanting this thing? Why do I feel really affirmed in my want to make this purchase? That's where it gets like really weird to me really quickly. I would like to believe, and this is where I am hopeful, uh, there will be logs. You will like us people. Some people will just not care. They will just like let the signals signal back and forth. But we will go and look if we feel something is off. It's like what the fuck is going on? We can go and look what was sent because again I think there's going to be like an air gapping protocol. We have to figure out the security is going to be the biggest thing, and it's going to be first link to a device, right? Like a carry. I think we still are going to be carrying devices in that way. Link to device and then device to system. Where if your device, like you can, I think you can like set. That's the way I would be comfortable with it. You can set certain like hard rules, right? Like you can't this, and that. And if a signal is sent from the server side to that device to send that signal, it can
Wait,
gatekeep it in that way.
in what? Wait, quick context. I missed context.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm like, so
so
I have no idea what you're even talking
so
about.
BCIs,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Okay.
okay.
They're
Context.
talking they're
Done.
talking about the profit-driven company of
Yeah.
giving them access to their brain.
Okay,
So
that helps.
a
Yeah.
BCI connects to your phone, and I
Yeah.
think there's going to be another air gapping of like
Bless you.
what's
Thank
the
you.
word I'm looking
Sorry, guys.
for? Proximity. Where if it realizes the signal is being sent and the amount of time it takes for that signal to be pinged is a certain amount of time, it'll realize either you've left your phone and I can remind you, hey, the tether is being left behind, or it can be a matter of, hey, where is the signal coming from, right? And in that way, it can be an extra level of like,
No,
the security is going to be the biggest thing, and unless
I
I
just
know for sure,
yeah.
I won't.
I think one of the simplest solutions initially to it is that, like you said, your BCI cannot connect to anything besides your phone, like or your handheld. The thing that
Exactly.
this
And
thing
we
is
we
doing
can
all
have
the
local
sending.
AI and
This
no
thing's
no.
doing all the sending, and it can only interact with this thing. And your because the one thing that is nice is you can do pretty sophisticated geolocation with this now. So you just check where your signal's coming from. And on that, the thing is, it's so hard to hack into a phone these days that like it's not really realistic to worry about it. I think those systems will be okay. But my worry specifically about it is just backdoors can be really sophisticated, especially if it's from the company making it, such to the point that your phone could just be spoofed into believing that everything is still coming from your phone.
That's where I'm like again on the blockchain kind of like fractal where there has to be almost like a consensus reached, right? Like maybe you have 7 devices. You have a computer at home, you have your computer in your pocket, you have a computer in your mom's house, and then the signal triangulates and unless everybody agrees at the same time that this is in fact the signal you want to send, and then it's going to be again a latency thing where you might want more immediacy in the signal processing and you don't want to wait that gap of making sure, and I think there will be trade-offs and people will be willing to make those trade-offs. Security. I actually even had this whole thing, bro. Like maybe I should like get myself some certifications in cybersecurity or something.
It could be fun to do. Why not? The
Learn.
hilarity of the whole thing with cybersecurity is that every friend that I have that is doing cybersecurity also had to go do those certificates. You can study it, but then you still have to go do the certificates because they're the industry standard. Just start with the certificates.
The certs are more important than the degree in that sense. Like,
100%.
because the certs you have to keep up with. You
Yeah.
know, you keep on having they keep on changing, not changing it, but it
The cat and
advances.
mouse game continues.
Yeah, and especially in web security. I mean, in web security, they're always like finding new ways to get in and finding new ways to stop people from getting in, basically. So,
Scobie is getting
Sweet Cubby,
photoshopped.
there's that patchy dog for you, Moon Moon.
wait. Kink.
Photoshop.
Cute.
The only thing that can make me okay is the cup of coffee. There we go.
Oh yeah, he's not allowed on the couch, is he?
Nope.
Mm.
No,
Sorry,
no
bud.
couch doggos. That's how you get Lightspeed brief commercials in your dreams. Yes. Papa. Norbert zegt papa. Eisbeiter also. He might be working right now. That's how. With a touch of garlic. I see I missed a generous donation from Toothy. Way to go. Thank you,
Thank you.
Nash.
That's awesome.
It really is so generous of you, Toothy. Like, seriously, bro. Thank you. He's like, nobody has given me scritches in like 5 seconds. Didn't you know that I like scritches all the time? Like, didn't you know that? I'll let you know though.
I like whiny, needy dogs.
Yeah.
Hi, baby. You're not supposed
No,
to be up there. Sorry, bud.
I see I missed. Bless again. Exactly, Sam. I've always been a boxers over briefs guy, so they can just keep it. How weird that someone had to say that, Joe. Dan, I literally had the same conversation with Joe this morning, packing some of my clothing. I was also like, I'm also. No, I think I'm a briefs. I'm a. Those are briefs, right?
Boxers are like the loose ones.
Yeah, boxes are loose. Briefs, I think, are like
A little bit tighter than
they're the
skin, but they're
tighter
little.
ones.
There's little
They're, yeah, it's still
shorties.
shorts.
Yeah.
I'm
I
also
think I think I'm a briefs.
I'm also a briefs
I'm a
person.
briefs over boxers actually. Dan, imagine Iroma reading your thoughts and laughing. I imagine he wouldn't care actually. I think he would probably be so zooted on his own thoughts at that point that he won't be concerned with yours. Would you like more information about Bucky Barnes and Bucky Badger? I mean, you can share, Hoops. Moon, I don't think that Iran would laugh at our thoughts. I think he'd see our human connection and cry because he's so devoid of that. I think he
Brutal.
is desperate just for someone to like tell him that they're proud of him, bro. Shame. He goes. Hoe gaat het met jou, Stefan? Love's true. Moonlight using like Google Translate. There are things in your brain you don't even. What? I've never agreed to getting something implanted. Yeah. Something that concerns me that I don't know that people have considered is like what happens when you get Neuralink and they decide to use it to hijack your motor skills. They can't, technically.
Doesn't touch any of your motor
Yeah. If
skills.
they put it in your spine,
It only reads
they
them.
can mess
But
with
the
your
thing
motor
is,
skills.
the thing that you just have to be wise to be not manipulated to using it in a specific way. But like
Yeah.
it's the person. The person has to be able to make the right decisions.
Yeah, the one thing that is also good about it is don't get like you said, if it's implanted here, it can hijack your visual systems, sure.
Exactly.
But it
And
can't.
if you keep sending a signal to like your hand outputs, maybe you would like curl up. But again, those things are designed to be removable. I don't know if you know that about it. And they're designed to be removable to the point where if it got that bad, an actual person with a freaking like scalpel at home could technically remove it. It would be very bloody. It would be sketch. It would give you a chance of infection, but it wouldn't be an impossibility. And in that way, I think they know that as well. And I have to be hopeful. I have to be. I have to be because the alternative is way too grim for me to even have to consider. He's giving us the patent numbers for some. I don't know what that patent number is. It's probably some sort of skiz shit about like mind control with screens. I wouldn't be surprised. What motor skills? They're only rolling Neuralink out to That's what I said as well. So
Oh,
Sam,
she
I
was
started
very
talking
dark
about
comments.
getting a BCI when I was a 17-year-old, right? Like Neuralink was just established, and there was this Wait But Why article that's like creme de la creme of like explaining what that technology is going to do for us. And in that whole thing as well, and that's the first thing that I would tell people as well, is that the technology is going to benefit those that actually need it first. Right? Like there's videos online, I don't know if you've seen it, Johan, of the four quadriplegics playing Smash. Or not Smash, I think Smash as well at this point, but Mario Kart is the one that I saw first. Four people that cannot move their bodies playing Mario Kart, and I think they would like school me because I haven't played much Mario Kart, and like watching them play, I'm like these oaks are
I saw
not missing beats.
just as like a funny side. I saw this dad like post a picture or like a like little like thing or like a Twitter post where he's like, "Oh, I've been playing Mario Kart with the kids and they keep complaining because I keep winning."
Kicks their
And they're like, "Can
asses.
you not let us win?" And he's like, "No, you're gonna earn this."
Yeah.
And then the next post, like 20 minutes later, is like, "You shit, the oldest just figured out how to drift. I gotta get better." And I thought that was so funny and cute to me.
It's so cute. It's probably the the one that has ALS, right? Like I like watch so much of that content as well, bro. Like it's heartening to see these individuals have their lives change for the better. You wanna
I want to go plug my phone in very quickly
you
because it's on 4%.
oh you know where to find plugs.
Yeah, I'm in Rudo's room now,
Oh,
so
wait.
I'll just quickly figure that out.
Are you gonna sleep in Rudo's room tonight? Okay, cool.
Your mom just came in. She was like, you're in Rudo's room with my bags."
And then I'll move this fan for you back as well tonight. Talking about future scenarios, yeah, absolutely may not, Troy, but nice try. Hebrews 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. I find myself feeling very loved falling into the hands of a living God. I'm thinking specifically about a place that I fell. Jovan saw it today. Like, you saw how big that fall is.
Giant fall.
Yeah, like I fell about 6 onto 7 feet back first onto sharp rocks. And I believe in quantum immortality.
And you messaged me and you're just like, yeah, I took a little bit of a tumble.
I took a little bit of a tumble
I
today.
didn't realize today, for one, how big it was. Jeez. Walking up there in sandals, and I know it wasn't the sandals.
I wasn't in sandals at that point either. I was in my
Oh,
hiking
really?
boots. Yep. I was in those hiking boots that you told me to wear on the way to America. So I even was wearing, I trusted something I wasn't supposed to trust. If I trust my own legs, I've never fallen like that. Trusting something I like trusting a rock or trusting something slippery, that that's where I've gotten hurt. And in that way, after falling and being caught by, in your words, the hands of a living God, the earth is living, right? It's alive out there. And I felt caught. I felt held. I felt protected. Like I could have gotten so much more hurt and I didn't. And I wasn't scared in that moment. I felt loved, extremely so, right? So I'll echo and say I really dislike that little Bible quote. It's a bad one. Pick another one if you want to preach to people.
Fearful. Fear. I have a hard time finding benefit in heading towards fear, right? In being fearful, you're going to make a less calculated decision than being aware, present. I think fear has a place. Fear could be a tool, but like at the same time, like,
Fearing God,
oh God,
like you're fearing
you don't want to fear.
you're feeling something that's omnipresent. Like imagine being scared of like I had trauma as a child where I got bit in the face by a dog, right? So there's like a little bit of skittishness and like uncertainty of is this dog safe to touch before I actually start. Like after I realize this dog is cool, there will be no fear and I'll be, playful. However, beforehand, there is this like, oh. And now that spider lily just popped open. There it goes. uh Now imagine God is omnipresent, and now you're scared of that thing always, right? It's like having a big dog that you know bites that's in the room with you at all times. Like, do yourself a service and don't believe such things.
Have you seen these spider lilies pop open before?
I have not. No.
That one, if you keep paying attention to these two, you see those two? They're on their
Oh,
way.
I can see. Yeah.
They're gonna probably pop. Like this is usually the time that they pop in because
That's
remember
wild.
on stream it
I
was around
remember.
this time. Keep watching. You're gonna see one of them
There's
pop.
two of them right there that are going to be ready.
They're on their way. And there's a
Oh,
third
man.
one down here as well.
You should let the
Actually.
friends see it. Just point it at the thing, even.
Okay, let's point it at the spider lilies. See if we can capture it. And then I'm gonna read more comments. Tunk. It's gonna give them a good view of the farm a little bit as well. Jup, 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 jup. And then what do? Let's see. Stop fighting me. There we go.
Peep mine froze in the back. Two of them. They're big birds.
So that one, and I don't know if there's more visible. This one, and I think there should be one in the back. There we go. Those are the two. One of those are gonna pop, I think, within the next 10 minutes. And if they don't, by the time I'm done, I'm gonna go and pop them for you, friends. You basically just
Poke
tap
it.
them at the top.
And they go. Boom.
Neat.
I think Johan is right on that. At what point? At what point do the power of the bongs give away to the power of the bombs? We got too much of munitions, more munitions than that. Yeah, I like that. At what point did the power of bongs give way to the power of bombs?
Bong.
Bongs, yeah, like people being willing to smoke weed and have chats as the
Right.
power that,
Sam's a yogi.
yeah, wins over. That was Dan.
No, that was Dan.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan. Dan
Power of
knows.
the power of the bonds, not the bongs. No, bro, don't correct
No,
yourself.
power of the bong.
The power of the bongs. That was perfect.
Oh, there's one just popped open. Sorry,
The bottom
sorry.
one,
The bottom
the
one.
bottom
Sorry,
one
I got
popped
really
open.
excited.
But I told you that they're gonna pop
I
soon.
didn't mean to yell into the thing.
It's okay.
Oh, there's another one that just popped. I love them. That's so exciting.
I'm sure those are gonna pop within the next like 10 minutes. Yeah, it's usually during this frame of time, like this time of day, that they pop as well. I think it's like a time of day thing. They're very pollinated by moths.
Okay.
So probably
That's
like
cool.
close to nighttime, they start opening up. That's an American perspective.
So
Sam
cool.
says that I've. That's an American perspective, if I've ever heard one. Do I really owe anybody any money if I can just delete them from existence? I'm not agreeing with it, Sam, but like you live her, but like you live her, would you really put it in past our government to posture that way, desperate enough? And I think we would. Yeah, it's gonna be a matter of time. And I think again, we're going to keep postponing having to make the decision, to put it in quotation marks, until that system is dead. Literally. We're just gonna like keep postponing the problem until we're like, okay, let's just put the problem down and then start
I
something
mean, that's
else.
like literally that's how it has been working, and that was what led us into that conversation. Was that like they just keep on refinancing, right?
Literally.
And so they're like, it's a problem now. We're gonna put it down.
Kick it down the line again, kick it down the road. They can.
Eventually, they're gonna be like, this is too much of a problem, and we've forgotten about it now. So
Dan is on his way to work. I'm just like, I'm
You're
so far behind. I'm trying, friends. I really am. Get Fortune joining us too. Nan, she's still sending love. Agreeing with Sam. Dan went to work. Could have been an email, but somebody needs to fill the room with their farts and expensive cologne. That was my experience with work meetings, dude. Melt, can't wait to meet you in person, and also the crazy scientist. He seems to be a chill dude.
dude, Johan,
Johan is such a chill
it would be
dude.
so rad if you could come to the U.S.
Yeah, I'll
for real.
definitely do it.
Yeah.
Like we've now opened our like home to him, so at least right. Like I think seriously, and I've said this on the community as well, making friends with people in different countries, and then going to that country is exponentially better than just I want to go to this country,
Yeah, agreed.
and then finding yourself there and going staying in a hotel or whatever. Like you'll get such a more rich experience. If no,
A quail up
they
there.
then who are?
Is that a quail?
Yeah, that is a quail.
Yeah.
Little parrot dude. Friend
If-
probably
if-
can see him in the pixels, even
I
though
hope
it might be
so.
only be like 3 of them. Is he walking and throwing stuff? Love is true. What's more important is his sleep schedule. Sam starts laughing. Not when you're a parent. I just
Aw.
spent the whole night rolling around in the sheets like one of those gas station hot dogs. And now I'm mainlining coffee. You might say one of those
Sam.
gas station hot dogs. I say like one of those fish tank hot dogs.
Hey.
Also, funny that message that she sent was when our stream dropped.
Oh,
That's when that was.
how about that?
Oh, it went.
There it
Oh.
goes. We called
Yeah.
it. The other one is gonna
I
go
thought
as
the other
well.
one was gonna be happen
First.
first. Yeah, I feel like I've been watching the other one like start to slowly move. Yeah, that's.
Pull it closer and closer to it. Look at it. It wants to. It wants to
Think
pop.
about it real hard.
It wants to.
There's another. There's so many
Getting so
quails.
gross. Sleep is an illusion.
Yo.
The only reality is physics.
Grasshopper.
Oh.
Just try studying it. If you will fall as love. No, bro. Sleep is not an illusion. Oh, I'm sorry. Your brain needs to wash itself.
Ooh, there is deep sleep, or non-sleep deep rest. That's something that I think is really cool to practice because I can convince my whoop that I'm asleep.
Like yoga nidra kind of stuff as well, or
Yoga
meditating.
nidra, Yeah.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I also love the quantum physics topic. Gravity is a trip. Oh yeah. What did I just watch? Was that AI?
I, that was that
That was
video that
AI.
we showed them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. The wave equals yes, definitely AI. Yes, Dan. Just look at the precise calculations on everything around us designed. If gravity was a bit more or a bit less, yeah. Moon. For me, the question is why is that? And then someone comes up with the reason and explains their reasoning. But is their reason the only one? I think again it's a matter of bias, right? We happen to find ourselves in the perfect reality for life to exist. So we want to ask questions about it. Like again, if we didn't exist, then we wouldn't be here to ask these questions. And the fact that we are allows us to. And again, I don't know if we're gonna get an answer. I think that's the real
I
big thing.
think one of the things, like, it was funny, is in I was also talking about it recently about like what is the meaning of life, and I always tell her my conclusion to that meaning of life, and it is very easy: there is none. There will never be one. The only meaning to life is what you assign to it, and
Yeah.
there's no inherent reason for being alive.
That's up to the
It's up to the
individual.
individual, regardless of what you believe, whether you believe God exists, whether you believe He doesn't, whether you believe you are random chance, for whatever you believe. At the end of the day, the meaning for the reason of your life is yours to decide.
Right.
And I think that is
I
the
think it's
beauty of it.
really interesting because uh, there's nihilism, right? Like nothing really has a meaning unless you assign it. That's kind of the pessimistic way to look at it. And they talk about absurdism, where it's like that pronoia, to where it's like, well, if nothing really means anything that I have any influence in, then I might as well assign the meaning and do with it what I can. The at least that's my interpretation of it.
I also agree, and to me, they're like, I think that is honestly the most beautiful answer, because at the end of the day, if there was one meaning that we all had to live under, I feel like it would take away from the reality of being individuals with our
Absolutely.
own lives and our own interpretations and what we care about to do day to day.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I like, so it's been kind of interesting. I've been more on like the Christian side at the moment because Izzy's Christian, but she's non-denominational Christian, which means that she doesn't have a dogmatic point of view on it. It's like, hey, have you ever heard, what Christ consciousness is?
Oh, yeah.
Live by Christ. That's what she believes. It's her like
Right.
full belief system. But really learning more about like their belief system, some of it's really nice. Some of it doesn't make sense to me at all because it's the like fear mongering aspect of it, like I heard you say earlier. But the whole like, there are ways to treat other people, and if you treat people right, people will treat you right. Small
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
the meaning thing is really beautiful
I
to
think
me.
it's really interesting.
Oh,
Popping. Come on,
it's
dude.
so
It's
close.
halfway there.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
and
gonna do it super
pop.
soon. Come on.
Mm,
The
Yeah.
wind just needs to rustle it, and just the like.
lost one of its tines, and usually that sends it. Oh, I can
Yeah.
see it's flicking.
Isn't
Oh,
oop,
there
there's
went
one
one
in
at
the
the
back.
back.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of what individuation is, though? Is like finding what is true to you and what really. Everybody's gonna have a different path, in the way that like they're overcoming certain obstacles in their life. There's just certain things and ways of being that make sense to one person than the other, I guess.
Yeah.
And finding like the ultimate goal of pursuing spirituality is finding the things that is true and that you want to find what everybody can agree on, right? And then working out from there. And
Love is true.
Yeah.
it's true.
Hilariously, I was because I found it as like a really interesting experience at the moment. For like every now and again I'll go to church with Izzy, because I'm like, it's fun for me to sit down and listen to what the dude's saying,
Get a perspective,
kind
yeah.
of in the same way you would listen to Alan Watts or somebody. Like, sit down and like try and
Yeah,
understand where
discern
this,
for yourself.
yeah, figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
And one of the sermons he gave was on the God being a loving one. And I remember coming out of that being like, man, I kind of, after all the shit that happened in 2025, I forgot how true it really is that everything is honestly defined by love. Like, it was one of those original epiphanies when you spoke about it, but like almost everything comes from it. Pretty much everything comes from it, and it is the ultimate truth. And I remember being like, wow, it's crazy for me to pull that out of a Christian sentiment. And at the end of the day, whatever you can get and get value out of
Yeah.
everything in life.
Yeah.
To echo that sentiment, like I grew up in a very Christian household where every single Sunday I was forced to go to church. And in that way, to agree with you that going to church, that was the truth that I extracted. It's like, yes, all of this other stuff, but actually the real core that they keep coming back to over and over again is the power of love, right? And that God had loved so much that he created, right? And that is kind of like the core that I think humans create from as well, the whole being created in the image of God. I feel like there is so much wisdom in there, and I feel like that's some of the problem as well, is that it's impossible for you to say that there's nothing redeeming in value in that fractal. And unfortunately, hey Kobe!
What's he doing?
Kobe! He's playing with the trash again. Maybe it was him. Maybe Eva taught him her tricks.
I think it might be that.
Yeah, Kobe took something out of the trash and then destroyed it on
Look
the
at him
yard.
sitting like, I didn't do anything.
I didn't do
Wasn't
nothing.
me.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. But I feel like to answer your question on the finding things that are like universally true or that most people can agree on is why I think a lot of people within their spiritual journey comes back to the what Jesus originally said. Because I find it very funny in the sense that like all of the there it goes.
Ah, there we go. Woo!
All of the original commandments that are in the Bible can be summed up in literally one thing Jesus once said. Do unto others as you would like to be done
Yeah,
unto
the
them.
golden rule. That's one of my
Literally,
favorites.
and it is one of the fundamental truths that every human can live off of. If you do what you want other people to do to you, you will have a happy life. I promise you that.
Yeah.
And I find that really special that one human on our planet, whether he was the son of God or not, managed to come up with something so profound that
Yeah.
2,000 years later, we're still quoting the simplest sentence in the whole world
He
as a
really-
way to live.
I mean, like his the direct quotes and or the Sanskrit. If they don't quote directly, but like there's different ways that you can study the word. But they are very very powerful teachings. Like there's so many powerful teachings if you get them directly. I guess you could say. It's whenever you find the interpretations of it and you follow the interpretations where it can go awry.
110%.
Yeah.
That's why when I was like, I find it so valuable in that if you're going to read something on it, you have to get multiple people's opinion on it
Yes.
because you can't just take one person's word for it.
Yeah.
And you have to try and get as close to the original meaning as you can to be able to, otherwise you're going to lose value within what is said.
Yeah.
Because to give you another example, with me then going to the church, I bought myself a Bible because I was like, fuck what you're saying. I'm gonna find the things that you're saying. I'm reading around it because I'm
Yeah,
developing.
context is
I'm
important.
developing my own bullshit here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and just have you tell me everything that's happening. And
Right.
within that thing, I ran into the same problem where I started realizing that the interpretations that people were telling me was not what was in the actual written things
Right.
originally. And I find that what you're saying is to be so true that you cannot take other people's interpretations as fact
Right.
because most of the time they're biased interpretations to what they wanted to get out of it
Yeah.
rather than what was said.
It's like curated for a certain moment in time for them. And it depends on who's teaching the lesson, right? What is it that they're going through whenever they're teaching that lesson? Like, what is it that's personally from their place influencing that lesson?
What
Right.
time period as well was it from? What was
Absolutely.
the culture around that thing at the
Exactly.
point that it was said?
Yeah. But like that, going back to the treat others as you would treat yourself, like there are these like fundamental truths if you can just like, you know, fall back on, and that's like finding the middle and working outwards.
Yeah.
Right.
One of my friends, very close friends, Reynard, once said, take all the knowledge you can, push it into a middle ground and agree where you can agree.
Yeah,
Because that
and work
is-
from there.
And work from there. Because everybody has valuable opinions and everybody has truths that are worth looking at. You can't just take what they said. And at the end of the day, when you take a bunch of opinions and you find where they agree on, you will find the ultimate truth
I think
in the
something
middle.
that's really interesting too on that point is like what people will say about the world, you know, whatever they're teaching about the world a lot of times really says it doesn't say as much about the world itself as it does the person that's seeing the world.
100%. So crazy. There's a book that my mom gave me once, and it's a 3,000-year-old book. It comes from the Toltec Society, and the Toltecs come from Mexico. Specifically, they predate actually, I think it's more than 3,000. They're the people that the Aztecs talk of as the original humans. Like they predate the Aztecs. So I think like 3 or 4 thousand before them. So it's like really old. I can't remember exactly now, but they had this. Their society was built on agreements with yourself. That was the way they agree. They would do things. But this book talks about the 4 ones that they found to be the most important ones, and there are a bunch of them. But the one that you're talking about is very referential within that book, and it is to understand that nothing that is ever done to you is because of the things you did, but because of how somebody else perceived the thing you did. That is one of the most important lessons. Nobody will do something because of what you said. Let's say so this is going to get crazy. Let's say you punch somebody in the face and they take offense to that. They didn't take offense. You punching them in the face wasn't the thing that they took offense of. It was their principles of what you did being wrong. Thus, they punched you back. Everything comes back to the way you perceive the thing, not what you did to them. And I thought that was a really interesting thing because it's very true to what you just said. And then they have a bunch of other ones. One, don't make assumptions, or always try your best. And
those 4 golden rules.
those-
Yeah, always try your best. Don't make assumptions.
Be accurate with your words.
Be
is that
accurate
what
with
you-
your words.
and then that last one of the what I don't remember what the thing is, but it comes down to what people. Nothing you do is nothing somebody does to you is because.
Oh
of what
yeah,
you
don't
did.
take things personal.
Don't take things personally.
Ah,
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not what you did to them, but how they perceive the thing done to them.
Exactly.
Right.
And
yeah.
that was an interesting realization for
We had
me.
It
Dan
shows you
says
the importance of like your own perspective in that way. It's like, oh, I gotta. You're right. I don't know.
it's so wild that you use that exact words because the next sentence is a perspective one where Dan said, Johan, that is one of the most badass and stoic things a person can do. Going to church not to worship, but to learn about spirituality from that certain point of view. Gaining that perspective for yourself. It's a special thing, Dan. I've attended
Ooh.
several Druid events on the
Cool.
solstice and pagan holidays, and to witness their
Interesting.
respect and passion for the earth and for everyone was a moving experience. Dan said, same. I have gone to Baptist churches with the goal of connecting and learning, not to worship. It's very cool because you meet people who are on the same general path as you, but just in a different context.
Yeah, that is one of the interesting things that me and Izzy have in common. We're the same human being on a spiritual path, but she comes from the Christian side of it, and I come from the more like hippie spiritual side of it. But at the end of the day, we're both on a spirit. She even quotes herself as being a spiritual Christian, where she's not like
Just Wednesday, 2 youth pastors
Really?
from my dad's church community came to visit me, and we're on the same path.
Yeah.
On the exact same path, right? They're literally teaching, right? And there's no disagreement. We didn't disagree with each other once during the time that we had together. And like stuff like that just shows me that I feel our generation is way more open
100%.
when it comes to that stuff as well. Like we stop being like so sure about this is how it is and there's no other way to so and so, and we're just like, hey, I'm just a human.
I'm just trying to figure this shit out.
I'm barely surviving sometimes. I'm not gonna tell you how to
I
worship
think-
your God. Or like,
We're refining handling things with grace
Yeah.
as we evolve.
and it's teaching
Right.
us, it's showing us what it looks like to not. I think as well. Like we're seeing a lot of lack of grace, and it's clear that
Yeah,
people.
that does teach you things too about grace. Whenever you see in the media how disgraceful things can be,
Right?
I
Makes me proud sometimes as a person to know that I've been good to people. Like to be like, at the very least, I'm not perpetuating the harm that is possible.
Yeah.
We had Sam say to that, I do not think that it's right to engage in public worship. I think that comes too close to public prayer and exhibitionism, religion, and I won't do it. To agree with you, Sam, I believe that the whole public worship thing is a certain kind of like comfort because there is this community aspect of it. Like we're coming together,
for hope.
and then I can look to this person next to me and know they believe they're on the same spiritual path I'm on. And that gives me a sense of like solstice and security in thinking solace that yeah, that's the sun. I am on the right path because if I was on the wrong path, why would this person, Johan, that I respect, be here next to me?
Yeah.
And that's the
know-
like perpetuation. And to say the other thing, what I think could be fine as it relates to like public worship is in manifesting well-being, right? Where we can come together as the public, identify a problem. Maybe someone is sick, they have medical bills that
You
they
see,
can't pay.
but like I think that was the original idea behind churches
Mm.
was a public community to come together to do welfare. Like I
That's
genuinely
what it
think
was
that's
for.
what it was originally
Exactly,
for.
bro.
And I can get like public worship and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I still find it a little strange. Like every time I go to church, you're like
Standing up and singing is-
It's weird because to me, and what I really appreciate from the only reason I'm also okay going to this thing is because the pastor is like, hey, I'm no better than you. I'm a fucking engineer, dude. I'm just standing here talking about the things I've experienced in my life. Do with it what you want. We'll see. We don't know.
Come to
I'm
your own
just
conclusion.
come to your own conclusions. We're just here to talk about the thing, and that's why I value the teaching aspect of it because it is just a teaching thing at that point. It's like listening to Alan Watts talk about his
Exactly,
stuff,
man.
and yeah,
Sorry
no,
to
no,
interrupt
no,
you.
go for it.
That youth pastor, the last time I went to church with my dad, he was the one who taught the sermon. So he can teach
Yeah.
the entire soul as well. And I listened to his sermon, and the same thing with discernment. And again, not a single word he said I
disagree with 100%.
Right.
That's why I'm like okay with going because I'm sitting there like, wow, dude, like I don't agree on the wording necessarily that you used, but the principle behind your wording
Exactly.
is identical to the thing I believe.
Like, and to share the hope in what he's doing right now, his intention that he's set for this year is to push unity. That's like the teaching he's going to keep bringing people
because
back to.
what's so funny to me, especially within that circle, is that you get taught very first off, include everyone, love everyone, and then the first thing that gets done is exclusivity. And it has always confused me beyond what within pretty much all religions is you cannot teach unity and exclusivity. They are mutual opposites, and that's why I've never understood the idea of like non-spiritual worship, and why I agree with who said the thing about public worships? Sam. Because to me, why I appreciate that is I can take the knowledge as a general conversation and take it home to my spiritual journey, and that's the thing that I like. The public worship, I get, you're right on that. It's definitely the, oh, I'm doing the right thing, look at my community that I've built. But to me, it's always been I want to learn, and then I want to implement that in my own life and my journey. And I think that's the most important thing that needs to be done. A lot of people that just go to church and only worship there and then move away to not think about it again are not learning anything. They're not doing anything. They're not growing in any way.
That's called spiritual bypassing, and that's what I was going to say earlier. Was that it's really important. Like public worship, there are benefits to it. Of course, there's going to be benefits. There's going to be things that happen with it as well that might not be as beneficial, but you can't let that replace your personal practice. You have to have your otherwise it's spiritual bypassing. You can't do that for the looks of doing that and then like turn it off and like it not be
You're
like
not
a thing.
doing anything.
Yeah, like it's fake exercise.
Dan said, I think I'm probably going to butcher this, but Johann at Fonte, back to the source. It was a rally cry of the Italian Renaissance. Ad fonte means back to
Ad
the
fonte.
source. That's really cool. And you're talking about buying a Bible. It's the same sentiment that is once again on the rise.
Dan's read a lot of books, I think.
Oh yeah, Dan is very smart.
That literally the reason I bought it is I was like, do you know what I realized when I bought it? I was like, I've never actually read it to understand it myself. It's kind of in the same way as reading the Tao or reading like any of those. You're like, hey, I've only heard hearsay about this book and the things that are in
Stories
it.
that's been taken out of it.
Why have I not sat down? So I'm in the process of reading Jesus' story. That was my thing. Because again, whether he was the Son of God or wasn't, he was a person who taught things and
That is true.
And
Jesus'
moved
message.
the earth.
and moved the earth. So like, are you
Well, not
not
literally,
gonna?
but
But metaphysically. And so like, are you not gonna read his story? Are you not gonna spend the time as a human being to understand one of the most influential people to ever exist and what they did?
Yeah.
Like that was a key aspect to me, and I really appreciate it, and I'm having fun doing it. It's
Yeah.
really interesting. It's new
Look at
knowledge.
look at the hair.
Oh, it's a bun.
Oh, it's a
Little
bunny.
wild hair. Yeah.
That's a big bun.
That's a
Wow,
hair.
that's some like
Yeah,
great
big
big
ears.
Look,
Those ears
those
are
ears
hairs.
about to take off flying. He took off
Gone.
flying.
Yo, he heard us.
Like this is some frequency. Look at the quiz.
No.
Yeah.
Putting it together.
Quay.
All right. I think it's almost time for us to finish this stream. we've talked so much with people that we love. Hey, I'm back. Hey, Spirit Brothers of UK.
Hey.
It's nice having you here with us again. We're just about finishing today's stream topic. It's nice to have you here with us. The greatest single cause of atheism in the world is Christians who acknowledge Jesus with their lips, walk out the door, and deny him by their lifestyles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
mm,
is what
It
the
was
unbelieving
hurts.
world finds simply
as
unbelievable.
for me, it was one of the original like kickbacks that I had with Izzy was when she told me. I was like, which version? And then I
Yeah.
started talking to her and I was like, oh, good one. Not the like, oh, this is the reason people don't like you guys.
Mm.
The that like perpetuating of you can't say you believe A but then do B, C, D, and E to disprove A.
The whole
That's the
convenience of
individuation. That's like
yeah.
being completely whole as that person that you practice and practicing what you preach kind of
Yeah,
thing.
literally, you have to
Yeah.
show up for the things you say, and if you do not, you are lying and you are
Yeah.
disproving the thing you believe.
Right. Be the example of what you want to see.
Yeah,
Which
literally.
is yeah, living up to your word.
Yeah.
do what you say you're gonna do. Like that's such a powerful like it's something that my mom taught me more than anything. That and be considerate of people.
Instead of saying what you're going to do, just do what you would say that you were going to do. Like sometimes you don't even have to say it. Just do the
Just
thing.
do it. Yeah. Don't even say it. We're almost done. The greatest banana, good every day. Hey, Berengovia.
Berengovia.
Berengova. It's nice having you here again. It's a new community member that's been joining us recently. Spirit Brothers joined us again and said, I would have stayed for the whole show, but I had to pop out here as looking for a new location to film at, so apologies. To me, you never have to apologize because I'll keep thanking you for being here in this moment. I'll thank all of you friends once again. We'll have Sam be the last one to share some sentiment. When I come here telling y'all about my Heavenly Father, that was walking the walk. That's what walking the walk looks like. That's what it looked like when you are a ride or die for Jesus. Love is true. Thank you, friends, for riding and living here
So that
with me.
that iPad scares me when you put it down there every time.
I know, right?
My
It's
brain
just-
goes, and then nothing happens with
I'm
it.
aware of the
It's just like
mass.
wobbles a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm aware of
Yeah,
the
but the
mass.
wobbling it
It's-
scares
It's
me.
not rubbing me the right. I'm feeling ways about it.
Man, you guys are awesome.
No, you.
We are but a reflection of you. Lane is still here.
Lane!
Lane. I
Hey,
did
bud.
see your messages, but I thought you had left by now. Lane, we love you. Very soon, I'll be closer, bro. Me and
Super
Joe.
soon.
Yeah, me and Joe were talking about you just yesterday.
No, it's today.
No, it was yesterday. On our way here,
Oh,
we were talking in the
what was
car
it?
about him.
Okay.
Did we talk about him today as
I
well?
don't know. I feel like I talked about him today.
We might have. I think
I
maybe
talked
during the.
to him today already, so
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
maybe I'm just making another connection.
I think that's probably it, yeah. But you're very loved, Lane. It's nice to have you here too, Brother Bear. Thank you, friends, for joining us. Good travels, Mel. Thank you. Like the next time you see me, I'll be traveling probably on the way to the airport.
We might be sitting in the airport.
Or we might be in the airport already. No.
No, you'll be in the car.
We'll be in the car on the way there, yeah.
Because I checked, it's a 2.5 hour drive.
We're gonna drive at around 3, and then we'll be there by 5:30, and then our flight's gonna be at 7. So, probably in the car. Bon voyage. Thank you, Nancy. I'm going to share some of the farm.
Do it.
All right, get your eyeballs.
Here, take this because they can't hear you.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Oh, I think I turned mine off.
No, Salon, you hit record on it, so now it's
Bathroom.
recording to
Okay.
local
I shall-
files. You are loved.
I shall join you on your discovery walk.
Yeah. The farm
Kitty!
is farming. Oh, the clouds are beautiful. Me and Joe went and climbed that big mountain today together, and I properly proposed to her.
That big mountain.
Dude, no, like
I know.
like technically,
That big mountain. I know. I was
me
just
and Joe climbed that mountain.
joking. I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that that
Just
the friends
imagine,
weren't like,
we walked the whole way out. And
yo, I got almost horseflied. I was like, I saw it and my body was like, I'm
No.
not suffering that.
No.
Your horseflies hurt.
No touching me. Hopefully you guys can get to the UK and do a video with us. It'll be awesome. Check out the Discord community, bro. Reach out to us. Start making connections. Talk to Sam or something. Staying live. Oh, we staying live? Yeah, for a moment longer. Yeah, there we go. We got a little bit more light left.
The moon.
The moon peeking through the clouds. Birdies flying over us. What a day it's been. Thank you, Johan, for being here on my last day
Yeah.
on the farm with me, bro. Such a pleasure having you here.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
I'm gonna now say goodbye. Hayato. Hatayo. Friend. It's nice having you here with us again. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, little by little. Hey, more ghostly ghost hunting. What are we looking at now? Where are we? Where are you looking at now? Huh? I don't know. I'm missing. I'm missing context. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I think they're talking about where's the location for the ghost hunting.
Oh, with the Spirit
that's-
Brothers.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's where that conversation
Thank you.
is
They did
going.
say that they're looking for new locations to film.
Yeah.
So maybe they're still in the air. Do let us know if you know. Yeah, the farm. I'm gonna put some feet on the grass. Oh, grounding myself. We're looking at a haunted school here in the UK, but it's expensive. It's expensive to visit a haunted school. Maybe it's expensive just to travel and to get housing and yada yada yada. I can imagine. Ain't nothing coming cheap these days. This dude. Really? Really, dude?
He's like smell. I like smell.
Yes, I like whatever melt smells like. I'll get myself some scritches. Let me step on you, bro. Lay down. Lay down so I can step on you more. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, you creature. Yeah, I'll step you. I'll step on you. You'll get stepped on, bro.
Crazy, crazy kid.
Creatures.
Yeah.
Okay. It's such a time. Thank you, friends, for joining us. Give us a hug. Look, everybody. Oh, bugging news.
That must have. You guys hugged each other microphone to
Microphone
microphone
to
as well.
microphone.
Yeah.
We have to pay to hire the building and fuel costs.
I know.
Hope it's worth it, bro.
I hope you find some ghosts.
Hope you find a ghost, though.
Please share.
Hope you find the coolest ghost.
I am the type of person that does not believe that ghosts are real, but want them to be real more than anything. So if you could prove to me that they're real, I will be very, very, very excited.
At one point, Johan, I believed that a ghost turned my phone into power saving mode. Like I had a BlackBerry Curve, and at like 4% battery, it would stop playing music to like conserve battery. And for some reason, I was like, I'm serious. For a second, I was convinced. I was like, there must be some sort of ghost looking over my battery power. Ghost in the machine. Don't laugh too hard, though. I'll feel bad.
No, it's funny because I feel like I've done some bullshit like that too, where you're like, wait, this is
Before
good.
you really understand stuff, it's like
algorithm.
algorithm. Thank you, friends, for joining us. I'll see you again tomorrow in another place.
Cat with grass in whisker.
Just so much grass. Oh, I see. I think Izzy would love that too. Oh, missed it.
Oh.
You're too cool. Won't be captured. Slacking.
Yeah.
Goodbye, dear home that I grew up in for a while at least. That's the internet sending. As bad as you were sometimes, I'll pet you. Thank you, interwebbies. Thank you, sun, setting over the horizon for lighting my day. Thank you, beautiful tree, for all of the shade that you've provided me. Thank you for the perspective, the depth you've created, mountains, clouds, for all of the colors that you've captured. Bye, farm, you beautiful. Thank you, Sam, for saying those words. Bye, farm. Bye, Kobe. Say bye, Kobe. Say bye to the people. You should say bye. You said we love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. We said bye. I said bye. Oh, I love you.
Man, doggy's so cute.
You gonna do a zoom? Do a zoomy. Do a zoom. Bless you. Love is true. Kobe. Nancy.
Bye,
Love you, friends.